Hello, hello, hello. Can everybody hear me? Am I on? Am I on? Let me double check because I am known to leave, start my monologue and intro on mute. So, how's everybody doing today? Today's a Monday. First Monday, the last Monday of the first month of the year. If you are new to this channel, and you don't know who I am, I'm eBlack from eBlack TV. Around here, we talk about culture, lifestyle, little technology. We're in our current season of philosophy. We're asking the why questions. We're digging deeper into subjects that otherwise we may not necessarily think about. And in today's subject, of course, sexuality versus femininity. I've already covered this with Bernard Rowley, but I had to think about it. I was like, man, the ladies would be dope for this. You know, as a guy, I'm gonna probably get chewed up all this show because as a guy, we only address femininity from the outside. We don't necessarily deal with it from the inside like the women do. Sexuality, we address women from our viewage of sexuality. That's why it was the men's perspective in the first version. Um, Today we got the women. Two lovely young ladies. Hopefully two. We're still waiting on our other person. But she'll be here as soon as we can. But I'm not gonna waste too much time. Y'all know I like to keep everything, you know, short to an hour. If we have any guests that want to pop up and talk, I'll drop the link. But I want to say hello to everybody who's here. We have Inya. Inya has entered the chat. Mayat Speaks has entered the chat. Yes, I know my blur. I know. What it is I think it's trying to focus on Bob Marley. So I might have to change up a photo. I love Bob. I love the way that it goes. So it tries to do it. So as you can see, I try to go like to the left a lot of times to like block out. So we're working on things like I said. But let me see. How do I request to hear live? You're here. All right. So my guest is having a little problems getting in. So what we're gonna do is I'm going to work on it with her and act like I'm running a whole show at the same time. So anyway, sexuality versus femininity. Let me put this in here. Sexuality versus femininity. Anybody know what sexuality means? Anybody know what femininity means? What does it mean to you guys? I know what it means to me as a man. This is the man's perspective. Colette has entered the building. Yeah, I'm sorry, that blur is killing me. Y'all don't mind, right? So, sexuality versus femininity. This is from my personal viewpoint. This is from, of course, how I view the world. That's why it's called eBlack TV. So, let's talk about it. Women's sexuality. Sexuality is about their sexual feelings, thoughts, attractions, and behaviors towards other men. You can find women physically, sexually, and emotionally attractive, and all those things are part of their sexuality. Am I correct about this? Hey guys, hey, I'm gonna ask you to mute, okay? All right, all right. As you can see, our guests are here. So give me one sec. So, am I wrong about sexuality? Am I wrong about a female sexuality? I think that's pretty much on par. I don't know. You guys tell me. Femininity. This is a men's perspective. Is a set of attributes, behaviors, and roles generally associated with women and girls including behaviors influenced by cultural factors and biological factors. Women from across the globe are viewed differently in terms of their level of femininity based on the culture that the men see them as. Some cultures say you can't show your hair. Some cultures say that femininity is more or less about how we talk to each other or how less we talk to each other. Is that true? Am I wrong on this? Colette, am I wrong on this? Enya, Mayat, am I wrong on the fact that femininity is attributed to cultural factors or biological factors? So, we're going to talk about this. I had a couple of examples. I've brought up Aunt Jemima. I've always said that, Aunt Jemima was essentially what men want in terms of femininity: cook, clean, take care of the kids, provider. Am I wrong on this? Am I wrong on that? The problem with Aunt Jemima was her sexuality was lower. So in the mind of a man, in the mind of men, the femininity level then, it doesn't get to its highest level. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. We have Before the Billions in the building. We're going to talk about it. I'm going to introduce my guests. I'm going to say hello to them. We are going to have this conversation. Let's talk about it. Hello, ladies. You all on mute.
Hi.
Hello, good
Hey.
evening.
Hi, how are you? Hi, everybody.
Good. If you didn't know, this is to this side here.
No, yeah.
Yes. This is Miss Ty. She has a great Instagram channel. Oh God, Instagram. YouTube channel. She also is excellent at checking me whenever I'm wrong.
Stop.
If you guys have a chance, check her out. This is the Red Lipstick Vibes. Great stuff over there. Great stuff over there. If you didn't know already, this is Milf on the Move. She can be called Paige, right? For the,
Sure, yeah. Paige, yeah.
yes. Okay. All right. We'll call her Paige. But she's also, if you've ever had a chance to check out her Instagram, she's still working on her YouTube. If you've ever had a chance to check her out, she goes live and she talks about inspirations, her thoughts of the day, motivation. And she is very much in tuned in which to where, like I said, one day we're gonna have a topic of telling her story.
Yeah.
I really want her to sit down and tell her story because it's a very good story. So check her out. This is Milf on the Move. She has an Instagram, like I said, and yes, Red Lipstick is a great product. So y'all have a chance to hear my diatribe about sexuality and femininity?
Yeah, I got some of it briefly. I know you was talking about regarding if it's like, they're born into it or, the woman's role. I heard that part.
Yeah.
Can you break
With
down the femininity? Femininity?
what I say with femininity is usually is from my perspective, it's or from men's perspective, it's always through the guise of the men. And usually it's kind of attributed to the fact of virtue of how do I say virtuousness in terms of fertility, you know, taking care of the kids, being a partner within our realm. Most men view femininity about as much we can work with you guys with. That may not be true for you guys. You guys may view femininity differently. You may think it's more naturally something that you guys have, but I say it's definitely more geared towards the guys of the eyes of the men,
Hmm.
and you guys then adjust accordingly.
So you're saying basically femininity is the definition and the view of that is based on a man's perspective.
Yes, and women usually get up and down that ladder of whether it's acceptable or not. And you'll see it in different cultural standards. You know, in different cultures, women don't have hair or like don't put their hair up, but they're
Right.
still considered feminine. In our
Okay.
culture, we're a little bit more liberal, so we have our hair. Certain women in certain places do certain things in the household because that is culturally what men want. So that level of femininity goes up and down.
Right.
Whereas in our, like, if we were to go to some certain places and we were to see they women, we'd be like, oh, that's masculine behavior. She's taking out the trash. You know,
Right.
yeah. So that level of femininity goes up and down. So like I said, I could be wrong on this.
I think the examples that you gave weren't necessarily traits of femininity.
Oh,
That's
okay.
more cultural wise. When you're talking about covering the hair, that's their culture. It has nothing to do with being feminine. Feminine is more or less more of your. It comes from within. It's not has nothing to do with the outward.
The physical.
Femininity is about being nurturing, being caring, being a virtuous type woman. Has nothing to do about taking out the trash or um, the cultural things of covering your hair up. Femininity, I think people think they can actually pinpoint someone being feminine or not. So if I can stand on the corner and say, oh, that woman's feminine because of the way she's dressed. No, because I can have on pants or a police outfit and yet still be feminine and soft and graceful. So that's your examples weren't correct about what femininity is.
Okay, so we already corrected me early.
Called you out.
So, but this is why I love this conversation. And this is why I specifically asked her because she doesn't let me slide on much. Paige, you're a person who's like who I've seen kind of go up and down in
For
terms
sure.
of your lifestyle and how you kind of, you're as you can see, you're a beautiful woman. You show yourself. You're okay with just showing yourself, and you've gauged that level of femininity. And I've even heard you talk about how how you've had to really check other women or feel that other women are not being in their feminine action. Just be quiet. Just
Right.
Yeah.
So I think we have a great group of conversations. Like I said, if let's see, what does Colette say? We are born into it.
Mhm.
However, men do add on to the perspective of it, and that's
I,
in
I
regard to feminine.
yeah, I would say a different word. I would say men cultivates it.
I like that.
See,
Okay,
and
okay.
because a lot of times when you get with the right man, he
Uh
brings it out of brings the femininity out
Facts.
even more. You already
oh.
have it, and you already showing it, but there's more there. You're not in the place to show all of that femininity,
Okay.
i.e., not a man realm. But once you get that man,
Wow.
he really brings it all out to you. Yeah.
So you don't
Okay.
think
So
we're
I
like
agree.
naturally, we're not like women are not naturally born. I mean, you're saying we have it, but it takes a man to bring it out.
No, it doesn't take him to bring it out. It's there. You
Uh huh.
have it already. You should be already showing it, but it's a level to it that a man can actually bring out within a marriage. If you're in a relationship, you can see more and more of your femininity, more of your nurturing coming out. Like if you have a child. If you don't have a child, you don't know how to be a mother or how to mother until you have a child. You get what I'm saying? So once you
When you
get that
say,
that man, you really come to know what it is to really be nurturing and submissive and cooperative with a man once you get a man.
so I want
You
to
get what I'm
say
saying?
this. So I know you said, basically like when you have a child, like you don't know how to mother, a child until you have one. But
Mhm.
do you mean like physically birth one, or just to actually have one, in your
If you're taking
presence?
care, if you're taking care of one 24/7, it's a different type of love from a mother and a child instead of someone just you know taking care of a child that's not theirs. It's totally
So
different when
you
you're
mean
giving
even
birth to
like
one.
even adoption terms, you know, if
It's
somebody
still
adopts
different.
a kid,
It's a
really?
different. It's different
Oh,
levels of love.
okay.
Yeah.
Let's cut.
Mm.
Let's cut it there because we.
While we're rearing off a little bit on
Yeah,
that.
yeah. It's a different connection when that human was inside you.
I get it.
You
Look,
know what I'm saying? It's a
I
different
get it,
connection.
Ty. Hold
A
on, ladies.
question,
Hold on, lady. Hold
eBlack.
on. Hold on.
Okay, go ahead.
Hold on. Let's first. Let's first start with
Are we just
sexuality.
taking over, girl?
That's what we do. No, I'm playing.
That's
That's not
just-
feminine.
Right.
Okay, let's talk sexual. Let's talk sexuality. Okay. No, before we even do that, because we've kind of set the baseline down for what we kind of define as femininity and sexuality. Did we get to sexuality? Hold on, let's talk about
No, we
sexuality.
Yeah,
got
let's go into that.
femininity.
Okay, so
Let's see what Miss Ty has to say about that. She seems to be correct about a little.
No, why you want to put me on blast first?
okay, so sexuality. Like I said before, sexuality is once again another men's perspective. We then cultivate the women, good word,
Yeah.
to then either tone it down or tone it up to our likings, and women act accordingly to it.
I agree.
There are things that, like I said, in the grand scheme, and how this relates to femininity is that how this kind of came up was the simple fact that I said that name a place where a man can go to experience femininity.
When you say experience, like he is around a woman that's portraying that.
Yes.
Uh,
And I said, now y'all gonna kill me. I said a strip club.
what?
I agree.
Really?
Yes.
How come?
Hooters,
I guess.
and airlines.
So you saying how strip club though? Like what kind? Where's the femininity in that?
Servitude.
Servitude.
They're giving you all whatever they want. That's what they get.
But they had to pay for it though.
Cooperation, submissive.
They paying for all that. It's not free. So should femininity be free?
No. What he's saying is, where would he go to see that?
Oh, okay.
It's
So
a
that's
place
just
where
like
you would see it.
that's true. You said Hooters and what was the third one?
An airline.
Airline.
Yeah. Your stewardess.
The stewardess. Yep.
True. What about
Now,
a maid? Getting a maid, is that the same difference?
Yeah, but that's you would have to import that in. I'm talking about people going out. So if I was a man and I wanted to experience femininity around me, these would be the places that I'd go. Oddly enough, like you would think that churches would be like that.
Oh, damn. What about fans only? What's it called? OnlyFans? Is that logging into femininity?
I mean, well, actually, you can go anywhere and find, a woman that's, walking in, in her feminine energy. It doesn't have to necessarily have to be there. Not just Hooters and stuff. See, eBlack just, his mind, chat.
He's speaking from the man perspective, but do you feel like the feminine energy, basically comes from like the respect for the man, kind of? Does that like run hand in hand?
I think it comes from the calling of the man.
But you would have to respect the man in order to, right? Wouldn't you need to respect that man to give him that feminine energy?
Yeah. No, it's about you. So are you saying you have to know a man to respect him?
Most definitely, in a sense.
You go to the store.
Not really.
And the manager or whatever is helping you. You wouldn't show him respect, but you don't know him.
It's not even that. I feel like, it's the respect given from the man. If a man is, being disrespectful towards a woman, does she have the right to...
nothing about being disrespectful. I'm just saying out the gate. just
Oh, I forget
being a
to be the
respectful
man.
woman.
Right. Yeah, that's true.
Right.
Okay,
So
so
why should you be
Ty, Ty,
disrespectful to
Ty,
someone
Ty.
that's not
She
getting
is
through
such a
anything?
host. As you can tell, Ty does this.
Nah, that's
she
what she's supposed to do. That's good.
no, but she does this. So she gets into you need to get into your femininity.
Right. But what about a woman that's been raped and molested? You know, is would that cause help cause her feminine energy to be destroyed? You think?
Trust.
Trust. But however, I am a victim of sexual violence and I'm in my
Mm.
feminine energy.
But did it
It
take
because
time
it
to
comes
heal? Like,
no. My femininity had nothing to my femininity never was disconnected because of my trauma. Because that was
wow.
from within. I never disrespected someone I don't even know
Right,
or
right,
people
right.
that I do know. I stayed in my feminine energy because that's the way I was raised.
She got that Maya Angelou vibe. Okay.
This is
Her
why
words is just ooh.
this is why you
Did
guys are
you know this,
perfect for this.
eBlack?
Yes,
You
I
knew this
know.
about her? Was you gonna bring it up? Y'all was gonna bring that up?
No. I
Oh,
didn't know that about
okay.
no. I knew that she had this vibe, so I
You
I
had
didn't
it,
know that
girl.
about her. Anyway,
Had it.
look. We don't have a lot of time. Let's talk about the current state of black relationships because
Okay.
this is kind of why we're doing this because I brought up the fact that man, a woman who can leverage her sexuality and her femininity to get the highest value man has really no problems.
I'm still a little bit confused on when you say the sexuality. That's why I was happy to come on here because I felt like I would get a better understanding of the sexuality part.
The sexuality part is essentially just saying, wearing clothes that are provocative,
Mhm.
being openly sexually free.
Okay. 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 Okay.
Just there's levels to that, right?
Right. Right.
There are women who are more sexier than they are anything else, and then there are women who are not as sexy, but they both can be feminine, but
Okay. Got
the
it.
fact that the levels are going up and down. So that's why we're having this discussion because we always want to, from the man's perspective, like I said, from the man's perspective of how we want the world to be. This is the level, the gauges that we gauge it on: sexuality and femininity. We
Right.
we, we've gotten into the situation to where, and we'll go. Look, we have questions about this. We've gotten to the point into where in this world we kind of diss the sexuality and focus more on femininity, and then I say, well, it don't work like that. You have to have sexuality and femininity, or else most men don't want you, or the
Mm.
men that we'll go on in that. But just follow me along. So let's talk about the current state of black relationships. What do you guys believe?
I believe there's no relationship nowadays. It's more of these situationships. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? Going on situationships. That's how I feel. It's a lot of just, I don't know. It's too much sexuality going on. You know.
Ty, Miss Ty, what do you think?
I kind of agree with her.
Ooh, okay.
More it's more situationships and it's less marriages, I should say,
Right.
Yes.
than the time before. Everybody wants to be in a relationship and have babies and stuff, but nobody wants to get married anymore. So I
Right.
think that's a big problem.
I don't even think they want to have the babies. They just want to do the process. You
Oh
know.
no, they want the babies. They don't want the man, but they want the baby and the check. That's what it is. That's how it goes.
What they call it? The keep a Negro baby. That's what they
Mhm.
want. They want to
Yeah.
Exactly.
keep the babies.
And we're seeing that in the case of Black American where, and I'm speaking from a Black American standpoint, if
Yeah.
anybody know, where statistically from what I've heard is that 1 in 4 women are uh, Black women are married. You're starting to see even in the white community where 2 in 4 women are being married. It's actually going down.
It
Other
is.
communities are actually seeing the effects of it because you're starting to see their second generation implants starting to be less married, starting to take on American cultural values. So I think, like I said, this is a very good thing as to which American culture has a way of over sexualizing us. Do y'all think that women today are being over sexualized?
What do you mean by over sexualized?
They over sexualizing themselves more than other people sexualizing them.
Y'all remember the whole Britney? Y'all remember Britney Spears, right? And
Mm-hmm.
Right. Hold on.
the little thong that used to show
Mm-hmm.
Oh, right.
the tramp stamp.
Yeah.
Now we're wearing clothes that you can see every crevice
Yeah.
and
Mm-hmm.
everything.
They don't wear clothes nowadays. It's like
I
the
know they just
fishnets.
walk out. Hey.
They be having the little fishnets and you be seeing the nipples. I'm
Exactly.
like, what? Save some for
Like
later.
I got something. I got clothes on. What you talking about?
And now even like nipple rings, and now that's become a fashion to where it's
Yeah, you
even,
have to show
and
it.
that's not a cultural thing, that's just plain out just being sexual to the
Right.
world. And
I don't
then
know. Maybe somewhere else in like Africa or something. Who knows? They might, they
yeah,
pierce. They have a lot of piercings.
I was trying to allude to
What?
that.
Okay.
but but BBLs
Uh,
are at a high, all time high. Breast
that's
implants.
Right.
yeah. It's
And
like
and
everybody
and
looking the same.
in fact, people are doing this so much that the cost is now being driven down.
Mm-hmm.
That's when
Yeah.
you know you're in a capitalistic society.
Yeah.
You know,
You
but
got
at the same,
$1,000, you get a new body. Mm-hmm.
yeah, but
Right.
are we? Is this a cultural thing? Does it really matter in regards to marriage? Because I've always said it like this: men, no matter what, you find a feminine woman, you find most men will just, it doesn't matter. Now you got these guys who will sit there and swear on the Bible that they will never have sex with these type of women or they will never marry them. That's a lie to
Right.
me. Does it really matter or over sexuality in terms of marriage and relationships? Because like I said, I just think that
It does. And it depends on what type of man you're talking about.
mhm.
Right.
Um, you can have a whole bunch of men that will sleep with you, and some maybe even marry you. But will they respect you? And how
Mm.
long will they stay married to you?
I was just about
Because
to
when
say that.
that booty deflates,
Right.
what the thing that attracted you to him is no longer visible or there, what happens? Then he replaces you with somebody else. So I think it depends
Right.
on what type of man you're talking about.
Right. I agree.
The quality of the man is what you should be looking for, not
Mm-hmm.
his quantity of his pockets or whatever.
Yeah, I
Right.
get it. I get it. So let's talk about femininity. What is femininity in this day and world? What does it mean to you guys?
I would definitely say one word that I really learned that was last year was the being submissive. I think that plays a role in femininity.
Yeah, he's right.
But learning
Yeah.
to follow, what I'm saying, learning to follow, and like just be there to admire and what I'm saying, support the man. While he goes out, gets the money. You know what I'm saying? Whether you take care of the house, a lot of times, like once again, it was a part of the culture to, like the women, they were not to be seen or heard. They just supposed to be at home cleaning up. But now it's not like that anymore. Women have rights now. Then we have those non-feminine women that, feel like, hey, we can do whatever the man can do. And it's equal, but it's like, was it designed that way? Was it designed for us to do the same thing that men do? I don't think so.
Right.
Miss Ty?
What was the question?
The, the question is well, let me ask you in this way. Are women ignoring their traditional roles and in terms of femininity? And are we moving the femininity too much into sexuality? Are we saying that a woman is just really good for laying on her back now? Is that really just the
Yeah.
baseline? Or
I,
how do you feel
yeah.
like the role of femininity is today that we may have seen in past or you may have studied?
Well, I think the problem is when a person say the word submission, women today just fall out like they about to die.
Oh, he got
Like they just totally think it means I'm a slave,
right.
I'm a doormat. He just wants me in the kitchen. I can't say nothing. Like they got
Right.
handcuffs on in the basement.
I'm done.
It has nothing to do with it.
Right.
Um, the word submission is it just means you're under a mission. A mission of who? The mission of your man. Whatever direction or vision he's going to, that is the mission that you are supposed to be under. That's all
Right.
submission is. It doesn't mean that you don't have a voice or you can't voice your opinion. You don't have views. But the only thing that is different is the way you do it. You don't do it in a masculine and nagging and disrespectful way because you're talking to the head of the house. You're talking to your husband.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and I think that's what women get lost in. They think they lose their voice, but no, actually, you have more of a voice than you do if you're not submissive.
Right.
And
They
that's the
not
part
getting
that
it.
women don't get. Like,
They-
you can get everything you want.
So
They not
so
getting
why
Like,
why is the role of femininity being almost confused and even in the basic sense of that?
I feel
Like
like
that's just to me
it's
that's basic.
because of the way these young ladies have been raised.
because of the WAP generation, you feel me? They all about pockets. You know, a lot of those. I don't know if they're TikToks, but I've seen a few videos of women saying, "Oh, when a man don't have no money, you know, a man don't have money." You know what I'm saying? It's like, where did this happen? You know what I'm saying? I feel like the women that do get these BBLs and stuff, like, are they trying to go after the men with money? I don't know. I don't know what are they doing it for. I don't know. I don't
It's
understand.
delusional
It
thinking,
is.
and it's like, social media and the media paints a picture like this is what you're supposed to do. Like let's
And
be honest,
it's not.
it's about money. And so when you put something out
Everything's about money.
into the media and say this is what you're supposed to be, i.e. Kim K and all the rest of these people, and then you're killing yourself to look like these people, because what?
Right.
It's about money. It's about money. You're not getting anything out of it. It's not like you're going to get Kanye or
Right.
anybody else, but if I look like her, then I can get somebody like that too. No, that's not how it goes, sis.
No.
So,
No.
but let me ask you this, because in the terms of women making more money, having more disposable income, and you guys saying that this is just a part of cap money, isn't it women doing their own doing?
No, what I'm
Right.
saying about money,
Mhm.
you have to understand who puts that picture out there in the media and stuff, or these ideas out there for them to see, and then all of a sudden now everybody wants to do it. Who's making the money off of it? The doctors, the the people that that do these BBLs and stuff, and they're making money off of it, which is really stupid. Like, you're tearing your body apart for what?
Man, yeah, I
And
be
then
seeing
and
those
then half of them
videos.
look like Ant from that movie, that cartoon
Right.
character. Your legs
Man.
don't even match your butt. I
I
mean,
be
like,
like,
what? Like, I'm
these
not.
surgeons should be ashamed of themselves, because
Yeah, like, come on.
some of that stuff look terrible. It's like you
Mhm.
got a little bitty waist, then you got these big old horse butt that just don't. It look crazy.
It
It look
doesn't even
nasty.
look natural.
But
Yeah.
you guys have never gone through that as a little girl to say, "Hey, I want to get a breast implant,"
No.
or
No,
but
I have
you
no
may,
thought that. I'm not gonna
you
hold you. Like, a while, this is a minute ago though. Like, in high school, probably this is before I just always said, like, I don't want to get boobs done. Not, I don't know if maybe it was an insecurity, maybe I just want to enhance my beauty. I don't know. I just felt like I feel like it'll look nice, But maybe that's what some women feel like with these surgeries. But to me, it's like they be going, their
Overboard.
proportions just
It's
out
overboard.
of whack.
Yeah.
You know what I
Overboard.
mean? But it's like, it's crazy because as soon as women do get money, that's the first thing they're doing. They going to get the surgery. Then I seen some videos the healing process, like dang, it's like,
Right.
and that's what I thought about. You know, I remember like I'm spiritual, so I believe in God, and I believe. I'm not saying that people that get surgeries don't believe in God, but I'm just saying like I could not see myself doing that to myself for no reason, going under a knife. Like anything could happen. I got kids. I ain't got time for no chances. Then have problems with it. Like I don't know. I've heard it's been women that have problems with that.
Yeah,
but
get sick or death, they die.
Right, but back to these high value men. Let me tell you, eBlack. So ever since I was on, you know, that's on the show. I don't want to bring it up. You know, this is your show. But I've ran into like 2 or 3 high value men that were interested in me and said like, and I'm regular. You know, this is me. I go on there without makeup, without lashes. I go on there in my feminine energy. Sometimes I act like a thug. You know, my little thug come out. But they appreciate just kind of like. They can sense, you know, that sense of femininity and just knowing that, okay, hey, she knows how to listen, you know, just by what I say, just things I talk about, you know, and they don't be caring about all, like women, they don't care. Men don't care whether you have surgery or don't. You know what I'm saying? You, like I said, they don't care if you work at Walmart or if you don't have a job. They don't care about none of that. They really don't. I'm telling you.
And
I've talked to 2 men. I'm trying to tell you, they don't care because they already got money.
She said they don't care if you work at Walmart.
Yeah, they be doing all this. Everybody, these women talking about get the bag. Man, you know, I'm not tripping about get the bag because when I get my high value man, he gonna have the bag. Like, you know. No, I'm just playing. But for real, like men, they don't care. They don't care about weed.
You just playing, but you serious. But yeah,
low key, you know. Not because that's what I want. I've always been independent, so I never been one, like, I didn't know what high value men and, you know, listening to different shows and them talking about women, you know, wanting a certain amount of money. This, like, I didn't date men like that, you know, but I dated knuckleheads, of course, but at the end of the day, it's like, you know, just getting to know myself and getting in tune with the Most High. Like, I feel like that's what's going to happen. I feel like that's how I'm going to get my abundance. Like, just continuing to walk in my purpose, and he going to bless me. I'm not saying he's not going to bless me with my own, but I just feel like that. You know, like certain things, you know, when you got your own relationship with God, everybody got their own relationship. But, you know, the fact that all of a sudden it's like, oh, high value, like that's what I'm attracting because that's the energy I'm putting out. Not saying, oh, I want high value men, but I'm just being myself. I'm rocking in my feminine energy, you know, and not over sexuality, you know. I feel like that's what it is.
That's cool. So I got somebody backstage that I want to bring up to. Yay. She's gonna also probably smack me a little bit around, like, but you.
Correction, men do care. I don't know. I'm reading that comment. What y'all feel about that comment? I mean, I
agree. I agree.
Yeah, and I agree.
You feel like men do care or men don't care?
I'm going to bring my I'm going to bring my up here to speak to that, and we'll talk about that more. Okay.
Let's talk about it.
Hello, my
please.
Okay, so Mayat, okay, tell me what you think about this question because, my goodness, you know, he says, now this is a guy's name, Danique.
Mm-hmm. Okay, I thought that was a girl.
Yeah, me too. I used to call him Danny K, but but he says, correction, men do care. Not all professions are acceptable or looked at.
They're the same. But
yeah, I agree.
How though? Because I mean, but at the end of the day, it's like every man has his own mindset. So it's like we can't say every man care because, like I said, I've talked to a high value man. I be doing Instagram. He said, I don't care if you do that. I don't care about none of that. So it's like I don't know. Like I've talked to people.
I think he's talking about like strippers,
and stuff like that.
Yeah. But that's where the feminine energy is, according to eBlack. That's where it's that's where it's at. Let me give you a poll, okay? Let me practice.
I think he wasn't saying. Correct me if I'm wrong, eBlack, because when you were saying it, I was thinking because like a stewardess and women at the Hooters or whatever, they're being more of a servant to you rather than, you know, getting any pushback for anything. Is that the reason why you chose those? Oh yeah, okay. That's
so
why.
So are men marrying these women in the strip clubs with the BBLs? Like, so what is it? What's the answer?
I would argue yes.
Some are. and again, it goes back to what type of man are you talking about?
Right.
I doubt it if you see, a multimillionaire businessman going to a strip club and say, "Oh, hey, Candy Cane, let's go get married."
So
or,
so so wait. Time out.
or the politician be like, "Okay, yes, I'm about to run for senator. Let me go
Time
get
out.
married to
Time
Lucy
out.
on the podium."
Carmelo Anthony had La Anthony, and he
We're not
got
talking about those type of people. We talking
okay.
about
We
quality,
okay, but how many times
difference.
you hear it all the time that a guy will actually have a second wife, and it just be some random escort. She is functionally a second wife in terms of having provisions, having the lifestyle of a wife, but without that. So without the full.
I think that's a lot. Oh, what? Who is that? Oh, he died. Yes, yeah. Put that up again. Yeah.
So anyway,
Disclaimer.
but you see it all the time. I'm sorry, like I just don't like having these
But
surface
again,
level. I don't like
can
having
I
these.
say something? You
No,
come
no.
on.
Let me
How
finish. Let me
long
finish.
does those relationships and marriage last?
I'm
And
sorry.
we have to be careful using celebrities as the
Exactly.
barometer. Like
Okay.
Still,
So,
when
I
we
like
have these conversations, we need to be talking about everyday people
Mm-hmm.
and
yes.
black.
okay.
And
So everyday people who I can go through my old MySpace page and I can say,
Oh
oh,
no, not the
I
MySpace.
can
Done.
say,
That
I
don't
can
even
say,
fit, bro.
I can say, oh, she used to strip. She used to strip, and guess where they at right now? Sitting there,
Not
two
the
cars, two
MySpace.
baths, 3-bedroom house, chilling. Dude,
okay,
don't
they know.
like I just don't. Okay, I do think there's. Let me say it like this: all the women who hold themselves virtuous are not getting married, and all the women who don't hold themselves virtuous are not getting married. I think it's just a homeostasis to where it just all works out.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Trust
Well,
me, people move out of town and you don't even know what they did for the money.
right.
A couple of
Exactly.
people went to a couple of women went to college, and they had to buy them textbooks. They got the textbooks and they moved to another city, and it's like you don't know what. Like I said, I don't have the judgment of people like that. I just really believe that when it comes down to it, homeostasis kicks in, and women want to get with men, and men want to get with women, and no, I do think there are certain traits that will prevent you from it, but I've seen it on both sides. I've seen women who are wholly religious who stay in the church 24/7 cannot get a man. And I've seen women who do nothing but stay on the corner and they get married.
Yeah.
Maybe because the woman in the church is just only goes to church and the
Approved.
grocery store, so she
Right.
only putting herself out there enough.
What
I
do you
don't
think,
know.
I can
my
Christian get married, but
my don't come up here.
I am like, I don't know how to touch this situation.
So when you talk about, because I used to be, well, I was religious at one point. So when you talk about women who are in the church, they have this they are told to have this very selective view of who they're supposed to be getting into relationships with. And then on top of that, we're not even teaching how to properly be in relationships, how to properly court, how to do any of these things. Like I've been married 14 years, but there was no handbook telling us how to properly be in a relationship. We had to learn it. We had to go through those struggles together. And it did not come in church. It didn't.
Right.
Like, so the thing is you have to learn how to navigate it. So a lot of women who are sitting up in church are very judgmental,
Or
and
lost.
they're not looking at, well, I have something to work on, let me find somebody else. They want a finished product. But when you have someone who you say out in the streets, they're not looking at themselves as being perfect. They're looking at, at someone else that I can just maybe align with. So they're, in essence, they have not loose, not going to say they're loose in their values, but they're more free in who they're dating and getting in relationships with, as opposed to women who are sitting in church looking for a man to walk through that church doors, and everybody is vying for that man.
Amen. Yeah.
That
Them is the worst ones.
They be
though.
like, oh, the Lord done sent JoJo here for
Them
me.
is the worst.
Yes. and I can say, you know, I'm a preacher's kid, so I can talk about the church, y'all. A lot of times, especially when women are growing, especially if they've been in church for a long time, they tend to become sort of like in a cult in their mind. So they're so in tune to, I have to do whatever the church do. I have to, you know, be there on time. I have to do this. I have to, so that they become, you know, like they're married to the church.
Yeah.
So if you already consumed by the church, how are you making room for a husband? It doesn't work that way. And they don't. Exactly. The pastor becomes their husband, so to speak. So it's like, how can you make room for a man?
That's deep.
When you're so, you know, it's the Lord. Yes, Jesus.
Okay. All right. So let's talk about let's talk about this thing that I love to talk about: conditional femininity. Conditional femininity. We've heard this at times in which women will say, "Hey, I will be feminine for the right guy," or "I'm not feminine to every single man, only to the men who bring it out of me. He has to be strong. He has to be an alpha."
Yeah. Weird.
Is that true? Is there such thing as conditional? Can a woman have conditional femininity?
I believe, I don't know. I just feel like if that's something that you should practice, you know, why that's something that you should just be, you know, just be feminine, you know. I think you won't lose that way, you know.
But is there such thing as conditional femininity? Is there? Have you ever met a woman who's just totally masculine or aggressive, and then they turn feminine for their man?
It's fake.
That's fake.
I think it's just, you know, pretending.
Y'all can tell the truth over here.
Trust
me,
I'm
I'm not gonna clip you guys up.
You know,
I have a different take on that.
One way you're, you know, I can see if you're at work and you have to be, you know, the boss or whatever, but I have people under me too, and I'm still feminine even when I'm talking to them, when I'm scolding them.
What if you was a correctional officer though? If you was a correctional officer, you know, them women is not feminine at work.
That's what she was going I think, you know,
I watch enough Orange is Black, so yeah.
Right. I know what you mean. I just think that it's not something that you could just turn off and on. It's just something that you are.
What do you say to the women?
To me, I don't get it.
What do you say to women who actually use that as a crutch or an excuse for, you know, their behavior?
They don't want to take accountability for their behavior.
Maya, what you think?
Using it as an excuse.
Maya, what you think? Because I know Maya's look by now. She be ready to fire off.
Yeah, okay.
So, okay, so I have a sort of different take, because as people, as human beings, we all have those energies within us. So we're always going through those exchanges. So when you talk about the feminine principle, the feminine principle receives, the masculine principle takes action. So even though we can equate something as being feminine, it doesn't mean that at the moment, like, we're not being masculine. So if you're let's say, I'm gonna use your example as a correctional officer. There are some correctional officers, when they are seen outside their work, they're going to be seen maybe as feminine. I don't know. I don't know any that are seen as feminine, but let's say that I was a correctional officer. I can be seen as feminine to everyone else around me. But when I'm taking certain actions within my job, I am in my masculine energy, but it can still, from someone from the outside, it can still look feminine.
Exactly.
because we have equated
Mm-hmm.
sex appeal as being feminine.
Yeah.
Sexuality is not
Really?
Yes.
Oh,
It has nothing to do
really?
with femininity.
it's not femininity.
Mm-mm.
Because I have two daughters, they are young, and so they are feminine, but would
Mm-hmm.
I say that they're sexual? No. And I'm pretty
Exactly.
sure you wouldn't say that about your daughter, eBlack, right?
No.
Mm-hmm.
But she's feminine. I've seen your daughter, she's beautiful.
Mm-hmm.
And she is a feminine little girl. But you
Mm-hmm.
wouldn't equate her to being sexual. Like you wouldn't say that she's sexual, and you wouldn't want anybody sexualizing her.
Yep. Yes,
That's
indeed, my heart.
interesting.
I love it.
And
I
this why
agree.
this is why I had to wait to bring her on because ooh Lord, y'all getting
I
hot.
agree totally. Two
So
different things.
yeah,
Two different
they're
things.
two. Hmm. I'll give you the Isaac. Well, you know what? I'll leave it to the audience. Y'all can comment to this segment, and we'll see if we're right. We'll even compare it to the other responses that we've heard. So
Mm-hmm.
that's even good. I think Milf is back. All right, you're back. All
Yeah.
right. Uh, all right. This one I love to. This is another little topic that I love to talk about. And it kind of crept up on the radar, right? Hoes are winning. The theory is this: women who leverage their sexuality end up getting the lifestyle that women who don't want. You hear it all the time. Who's going to Dubai? Who's having the trips in Miami? How many women do you know work their butts off every single day and have to save up for just 1, 2 days that a female who laid on her back had to do? The fact of the matter is that, like I've said before, sexuality in today's world, men want feminine women around, men want sexual women around. Thus, it could be argued that hoes are winning in the sense of that.
Can
Yeah,
I
I
say
mean, but
something real quick?
oh, it's what it
No, let me say something real quick. There is
I just want to say one thing. Let's
those analogies that you just used. Let me tell you something. There is a price that those women pay for that.
bingo. I'm about to say, what are
A
you winning?
heavy price.
By what cost?
They may be going to Dubai and doing all those things. I got the bag, and they showing pictures on Instagram and stuff. But at the same time, those same girls are crying at night because somebody raped them, somebody drugged them, somebody did
Ooh-wee.
something to them, or they feel empty inside because they're doing all these things for these guys for
Fact.
the bag and the lifestyle, but they're empty
Facts.
inside.
But
So it's a
Empty,
price for all
broken.
of that, baby.
but does it matter if I don't have to work for it?
Yes, it does. My
It does
self-respect and dignity means more to me than a trip to Dubai. I'm sorry.
Period. Me too.
I work to get that, baby. Mm-mm.
Right.
So
I agree.
I would, I like I said, you look. Yeah, I see a lot of women working, putting themselves student loans in debt, doing all that they can to keep up with. In fact, you can argue that the women who work the hardest are trying to look like the hoes.
I don't know. That's
Oh.
some. I will agree. I would say some.
Oh, you mean like when they're getting the BBLs and all that kind of stuff? Is that what you mean?
What I'm saying is that you see the women, being that the way the world is going these days is that you see the women, buying they're competing against women who are hoes. They're buying the most expensive bags, the like you say, the BBLs, the hair, the expenses. We're all buying these commodities to end up looking like hoes.
Right. No facts. I
Okay,
agree.
I
Like
buy
I said,
bags, baby. So I ain't trying.
Oh, I'm just
I
saying.
like. I just like.
did.
Because they think that's what men want, because men are
Exactly.
looking and looking at these women who have these things, or they're, you know, what you're saying, like they're buying things for these women. So they want the attention, but they're not going the same route. We have to be careful that we are not condoning prostitution, because that's what it is.
Right, that's what it is.
Ooh,
Yeah,
please.
that's what it is. Yeah, it is.
And when I say hoes, I don't
Yes.
mean I don't mean literally hoes. I mean
No, but
loose
still,
women.
but it's
We
still
know what you mean,
prostitution.
but
I'm no,
Which is
no,
legal.
no. I'm
it
just
is hoes.
okay. That's to say a sexually free woman.
Okay.
Yeah.
So sexually
If
free
you say
women
that
are.
you're getting gifts for that, or you're getting money for that, you say,
Same
hey,
thing.
hey, sugar daddy, I want you to buy or pay for my books for school, and I'm going to give you something in return. What is that called?
Right.
That's a service that you're giving so that you can get something in return.
So I guess hoes aren't winning, is what you guys are saying.
But sometimes no, but no lie, no lie. I'm not even gonna hold y'all. Like I've thought about that before, because I like, me growing up, I don't know if I had that no daddy syndrome, whatever, not having a daddy around and not understanding, to learn myself and respect my body and all that. I thought about, just my previous relationships with men, and the 10-second dating and all that, and then I'm like, dang, I might as well charge for this shit. Like, I'm getting this shit for free. Like, I've had that thought. But it's like, the difference is they go out there and they'll just go, from just different men. Hey, giving it, give the money, you know what I'm saying? And have a pimp and all that. Like, that's out. That's out. Like, the real hoes have pimps. So, that I know.
Ugh.
I don't know, but it just comes to, like you said, it's the cost. That's what I'm saying. It's like you really have to spend time with yourself. You really have to have a connection with the Most High, because you will lose yourself, trying to conform to the world and keep up with the Joneses and all that. That's why I'm just happy with, like, who I am. Like, I know mine is gonna come one day. I have that confidence and faith in knowing, like, my mate and my life partner is gonna come, and it's gonna come with me just being myself. I ain't gotta go cut myself open and put stuff in my body. Like, I don't have to do all that. I don't have to be, what I'm saying, having like bags and drive a Lambo. I don't be thinking about all that. I'm happy with who I am. You know what I'm saying?
And then
But
I
there's
have
a
to
lot
say
of
that some. Oh,
there's
go
a
ahead.
lot of women. There's a lot of women who do want to live the lifestyle, the BMWs, the Mercedes. They want to. They want to, just like us guys. We want to have the Range Rovers. We want to. We want to. That's why I consider it the same thing as men who do drug dealing. Like, we want to skip the hard work.
Right.
We want, like you got to understand, like, I'm sitting here, I might work 40 hours a week and I might not get nothing in my check, and now I'm competing with a dude who's drug dealing. What's the
Right.
difference between a woman who's working their butts off, statistically making less, than watching another woman have a car and have all the lifestyle just for doing something that's naturally given to her? So I think
I
when we
think
talk
it.
about hoes as winning,
Mhm.
it's a warfare within morality. It's a warfare
Right.
in which
Right. Most
it's
seriously.
Yeah.
saying, it's giving. Are you giving up your morality for the things that America is demanding of you based on your sexuality and your femininity?
Exactly.
Arguably, Kim Kardashian is the biggest winning hoe out there.
Who's the judging that she's winning? What are you equating her winning to? Because she has
$1
money?
billion.
Is that what you mean is winning? Just because she has money?
Uh, some
Right.
people, some people
That's
right
what
now are
they
so
do.
much.
Now we're
Some
talking
But she's on her what, fourth marriage with divorce with
but
children
but still,
and
how many
another
people?
sex tape that's going to embarrass those children.
But
Mm.
how many people would give up that lifestyle, their broke down struggle life, for that?
It probably be a lot of people like that, but
That's
then
those
you have
people
to look at the
that don't
ones
know
that don't
themselves.
have that do not look at that as money is everything. You have
Period.
some women
Because
that
it's
look
not.
as my self-respect and my dignity and my name means more to me than just having money and driving a
Period.
BMW.
Right.
So
You know what I'm
we
saying?
have to look at our morality. Whose morality are we following, and whose
Right.
values are we following?
Exactly.
Because that's the root of what's happening here. When
Mm-hmm.
we follow a foreign morality system and
Mm-hmm.
a foreign value system that is not our own, we
Yes.
get we get stuck into these talking points about
Mm-hmm.
someone else who is not
Mm-hmm.
part of our culture, and we're wanting to get to that. So
Exactly.
what you're seeing,
Mm-hmm.
because when you're talking about putting foreign things in your body so that
Mm-hmm.
you can get Kim Kim Kardashian status, that
Right.
means that you are putting chemicals and toxicity in your body so that
Killing
you
yourself.
can attract something. So
Mm-hmm.
what are you going to be attracting to you? You're probably just going to be attracting more toxicity to you.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
So last chance, hoes are winning. True or false?
False.
Okay.
False. I say yeah. They're not. They're not willing.
In
The
my
real. The
value
real.
system, no, they're not winning.
Right. Like what I consider winning, no, they're not. Because if you look, every last one of them, all these ones that you're mentioning, they're getting divorced or cheated on every 5 seconds. Getting divorced, cheated on, babies everywhere. That's not winning to me. That's not
That's
winning.
Right.
interesting.
And I believe, if they're doing that, it's like at the end of the day, it's like they're kind of in a sense like users. I feel like that's a
Mm-hmm.
user mentality. Like you're gonna use your body, you're gonna be a user and get this man for his money with your body. Like you're using that man. Like, do you really love that man? Like where's the real organic, the substance, the foundation, there's no substance in these women, and you know what I'm saying? There's no substance. And at the end of the day, you can't take none of that shit with you. So
I think the
it's like
problem, I think when you were talking, eBlack, about, the sexuality versus femininity and why the women that are sexual are getting the men and the women that are just feminine are, I think what the lines are being crossed between the two. But women have to understand that you can also have morals and values and be feminine, but actually and be sexual at the same time.
mm-hmm.
You don't have to be a prude. You don't have to be like, all the time. You can
Right.
actually, exude sexuality as well, in order to attract, because let's face it, men are attracted to our bodies,
Right.
our energy, the sexual part of us.
Right.
The feminine part of us comes after the sexual part of us attracts them. So if
Right.
you're not, if you don't have that type of energy as well, it's a thin line right there. So you have to have some type of sexuality about yourself as well. And
Yeah.
if you're single and even if you're married, if keep your husband, hey, that's my baby right there. You know what I'm saying? Like, see how Marta, she got her shoulders out. That's sexy. That is sexy,
Yep.
so you have to keep that going, and still be in your feminine energy. You don't have to be whorish about
Right.
it. You see, I say whore. I put the W on it. I didn't say holes like I usually do. But you don't have to be whorish about it, but you still can be sexy and
Mm-hmm.
still walk in your feminine energy and still have your morals and values about yourself. There's just a way to go about it.
Chef is saying it's not warfare, and more 304 chess players understanding of men, this
Yep.
playing field,
Mm-hmm.
and what they would be willing to do in order to win. You won't
Mm-hmm.
beat 304s because you won't stoop so low to get to him.
Mm-hmm.
I think that's an
Mm-hmm.
excellent, excellent way of summing up kind of the whole underlining conversation that I'm trying to have is that there is a battle going on. I think
Mm-hmm.
women every generation have to deal with that battle. I've look
They
my
choose.
lifestyle. I'm not even gonna go into my lifestyle, but I went through my
No,
phase in
let's
which
go into it. Elaborate on that, exactly. Because
there
I'm
was.
curious.
Wait, look, we
Yeah,
heard some of it on our show the other night. So yeah, go ahead, you
What?
black.
you were supposed to delete that stuff. See,
No, y'all go back and watch the show from last Friday.
Okay. I'm going back. I'm about to replay that.
let's just say I used to have a type, so that, but it's like even still as a man, I still held myself in high regard, and I think women still have to balance that in high regard and hold themselves in high regard too. And I think when you look at it, you have to understand what level of femininity and have an understanding where the line crosses.
Exactly.
And then, but don't also get so into femininity that you forget the fact that men want sexuality.
Exactly.
Right.
Like men want, that's the, we want a car that's gonna run, but I also want a red car. I want leather seats,
Something pretty to look at and
something,
shiny.
Right.
I want heated seats. I want the even now and then even if you take that analogy now I want Bluetooth. I want the sexy stuff.
You
I
want the
want
sunroof, baby.
yeah. Oh man, my last 3 cars had sunroof because
Yeah,
that's
I'm
the type
addicted
of.
to those. Once you get one, it's like you gotta have one.
So that's what I'm saying. So I think I'm not even gonna go back into the car now.
Oh my goodness. It was the same one you said the other day. No.
So, but but like I said, as we update or upgrade and update our cultural standards, I think women also have to understand what they're updating, and then like just don't get so lost in the dark about these things. And men, like I just don't like the cap on the internet to where men are just being like, I would never do that. I'm like, bro, stop the cap.
Period.
Like
I don't know. I mean, every man has, their preferences. So I don't
every
know.
man has their preferences until they get around their non-preferences.
Right, just like how the men be like, they want their wife to be all conservative, and then they go cheat on their wife with one of them thoughts, them hoes. Like, what?
Yeah.
But you told me
Oh
you don't want me showing this. You want me to wear long skirts, It'd be crazy.
Yeah, like I would never, I would never do that.
But please save me. I can't.
There's always signs though to those types of men.
Mm-hmm.
So they usually were showing you something before you married them.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
So if they do go out and cheat with someone who looks totally different than you, then yeah, you could be hurt, but you can't really be surprised because they were already showing you that. A lot of times women are thinking that they're going to change men.
Yes. Thank you.
I'm so special.
Yes.
Like you see all these celebrities getting cheated on. You ain't.
Mm-hmm.
Man, for real.
My kitty cat going to change him, baby. Mm-hmm.
Nope.
Same thing.
All right, we are gonna do a speed round because usually, like I said, I do not like to talk so much because I always put my foot in my mouth. But let's talk about Cardi B. What do you guys think about Cardi B? I say it's fake femininity. She presents herself as the boss bee. She says, I don't cook, I don't clean. But when it comes down to it, she does probably do all the things that she says she doesn't do. And when it comes down to relationships, she still stays with her men. She's still married. In fact, she is married.
Man, they hold that down, that marriage. Yep. They hold it down.
So what do you guys think about the idea that women are now actively kind of going against they're doing false advertisement for dollars and kind of glossing it up.
It's
in
about
fake
doing
femininity.
it for clout and they're entertainers. That's what they're just entertaining. It's like you can't take all that seriously. Some of the stuff.
And truth be told, she didn't even write that song. It was written for her.
Oh.
So
so I'm not gonna go too deep, but you have to understand that there's a war against Black relationship.
Exactly.
So the thing is when we're being entertained, but we're also being indoctrinated. We're being told certain ideas because what does that do? That disconnects us from the Black man, or it disconnects the Black man from the Black woman.
Exactly.
So who is usually thought to be feminine? White women or other cultures of women. So why not already go put that idea out? Because some men might look at Cardi B as being sexual, And a lot of women look at her as, you know, they like to listen to her music. They like her. So if she's saying those things, well, she's saying it and she got a man. So
Exactly.
do those things too, but it's not going to work. It's not going to work. And then on top of that, she is probably doing those things.
Yeah, she is.
She's
you
doing
think
those
she cleaned it up? She might got money.
Oh
She might got
no,
money. She
her
cleaned it
husband
up.
actually showed a video of her sweeping the floor, getting the stuff off
What?
the floor.
Oh,
Yeah.
that was probably cute. I got.
He was like, she was like, oh, he was like, you, oh yeah, you don't cook and clean, huh? Look at her.
Put her out there, right? Yeah.
And to piggyback on what my aunt said, it's like we have to understand what's going on right now. You know, the whole city girl culture. You know, I don't need a man. I can get the bag myself and do all this myself, and it's being pushed. Like all these songs and things are going on. It's just getting, you know, in our younger generation women's head, and it's creating more independent, strong, masculine single women, and nobody's going to want to deal with them. They'll sleep with them. They might even girlfriend them, but in the end, it's becoming just broken families.
right.
No complete families anymore. So, I mean, we can't really, I wouldn't, you know, I've seen Cardi B in person a couple of times. She's very feminine in person. And she's, you know, she's not hard and like, you know, what you see on TV on her song. She's very soft. She's very soft spoken.
But you can kind of tell
just
that,
like
you
you
know?
said, it's just like, you know, they're doing all those things for the money. We have so many other artists that do things for the money, but then when you meet them in person or whatever, they're just the total opposite. So yeah.
But you know, Cardi B did start off at a very provocative career. I wonder where she kind of perfected her femininity from. But we're not gonna.
In the strip club, right?
eBlack, you made me want to push my hell no button. Like, I can't with you.
Okay, so let's talk.
No. If you really want to talk about that, guess where that came from? Her femininity came from her mama.
Okay.
Her mother, the women around her taught her that, because that's where it starts. Your daughters learn it from your mothers. And this is why a lot of the women today aren't learning it, because they have masculine, independent, I don't need a man type mamas. So they're raising an independent, strong-willed, masculine, you can't tell me nothing daughters.
Okay.
Man, that gotta be lonely. That gotta be a lonely life. No.
But let's talk Megan Thee Stallion. All right.
Lord Jesus. Okay.
Now, Megan Thee Stallion is a beautiful woman. She's upgraded herself to the level of getting her degree. Does she represent the femininity today? Is that something that Black women could look at?
She's probably more. I don't know.
I wouldn't say after her last video. Her last video. Oh Lord.
Which video? Which
Sexuality, yeah, but not femininity.
But then she kind of talked about pleasing the man in a sense. You know
well, no, well, she just broke up with the boyfriend. The boyfriend said she beating him up. So I mean, no. He said when she gets drunk and stuff, she out of control, swinging on him and carrying on. No. So no, next person.
That's crazy.
I'm just saying, you know, like I said, I'm trying to get a good balance of like what we're trying to gauge out here. What are we trying to gauge? When we talk about femininity, sexuality, and the lifestyles that are being presented to us, forced upon us, that's just topic open dialogue. I obviously I'm totally wrong on this, but
we have to. This is okay. So I don't look at these people. I don't even know what video you're talking about.
Right, me neither.
You don't want to know.
I don't want to.
But the thing is, to really understand femininity and sexuality, we are going to have to turn the TVs off, because we're trying to gauge sexuality and femininity through entertainers.
Yes.
That's why they said
it. It's in your house. It's in it's around your mothers, your aunties, your sisters, and we can pick them, and we can say, this is not the femininity I want to be. Exactly. And we can pick and say, that is the femininity that I want to be, or we can merge them together. But if we're going to sit here and try to gauge femininity and sexuality off of TV, that is never going to happen.
Exactly.
I'm not
not real.
going to ever try to be an entertainer for my husband. I'm going to be what my husband needs.
Right.
Not
Or you
what.
could be an entertainer one night out of a month. You know what I mean? And that's
Okay.
it. No.
And I mean,
I mean, look, we can play Pimps and Hoes.
change
Okay.
it up. Change it up.
We can spice it up, baby.
I love her. Where are you from? Oh my god.
So okay. All right, next person. Megan Good.
Ooh,
Megan
Lord.
Good.
That's a tough one because I don't know. It's like
Now she got divorced. Now let me set the premise. Megan Good practiced celibacy. She was the hottest woman on the block. She got the man, the Christian guy, obviously faithful, everything. But then she wants to go back to being nasty, and it's just like.
What do you
It
mean by being nasty? Like
What do you
I
mean
don't
by
keep up
being
with
nasty?
these people either. So what is she doing?
Oh, she said she wore a shirt that said, Mrs. Nasty, or call me Miss Nasty.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
And like I said, it just seems like we're going back to where even a woman who got what she wanted and laid in her femininity, got the man that she wanted, still sexuality still creeps through in today's world.
You know why? It's because of, once again, the television program. They're telling this vision. This is the vision. They're programming the mind. So she probably feel like, oh, I need to get back in the light. I need that limelight. You know, she probably felt, that maybe she's overlooked now. She's not the hottest thing, the hottest one in town now. Now she's probably trying to come back. Ain't no coming back from that. Like, you was over there, sit down, chill, rocking your femininity, and enjoy your man before you lose him. And somebody else get him.
Well, let me say this. The one mistake I feel she made is she didn't read the application for the job.
Ooh.
She didn't read the description very well.
Ooh-wee.
So coming from the church perspective, being a first lady is not just you sitting there looking pretty every Sunday. It's a very, very hard, demanding job. There are rules, regulations, and standards that you are adhere to if you don't want your husband booted out the church. As you know, she had an issue with the way she was dressing at the church. The church had a problem with that. They had a problem with a lot of the things that she was doing. And he tried to defend her because, he loved her or whatever.
Right.
But you have to understand the dynamics in the church is the pastor is not the boss of the church. It's the board.
Yep.
So if you're constantly getting complaints from the church, there's going to be some arguments. There's going to be some disagreements of you can't do this, you can't do that. And she's probably like, I'm losing myself of what my personality, the way I used to like to dress and wear makeup and things of this nature. And then I get into this position as a first lady, the pastor's wife. I'm not the same anymore. So
that's his fault, though.
She didn't read the
told her
description
that,
much. I mean, it's you see the prestige of being beside the man of God on the pulpit and everything. But look, let me tell you, I've watched my mother be a first lady for 15 years. It is not an easy job. So she didn't read the description very well because it's not easy when you have people that you stand in front every Sunday, every Wednesday or whatever, critiquing everything you do. That's a hard pill to swallow.
But he didn't tell her that, like, you can't, don't go, baby, I need you to wear this to church, because you can't be wearing your boobs all out, Nowadays, though, I went to church before COVID happened. Like, these women, it be crazy.
Right.
You're supposed to come as you are.
He nailed it right on the head.
Like, it be a fashion show. I'm like, what is going on? It be crazy.
Yeah, Anthony is right. She heard about the benefit. Exactly. He is absolutely right. I think that's where the problem started.
And lastly, Maya, what do you think? Or do you even care? Because you say you don't even watch TV no more. So
I barely use it.
Yeah, I watch I watch some Netflix here and there. I watch old shows, you know. But I mean, I know Megan Good. I've heard, you know, but I have a hard time discussing things without hearing both sides of the equation because I don't know nothing about that man and what he was doing and not doing. So, you know, I don't know. But you know, so at the same time, it's I agree with what Miss Ty was saying. A lot of times, if coming because my husband, he was a preacher's kid, and his dad was a pastor, and yeah, that board, you know, that board, it tells you what you can and can't do. You think the preacher is the face, but that board is going to tell you what you can and can't do. So that can be hard to live up to. So, you know, I think that when it comes to who she was, you know, that was something that you battle. Like a lot of times you battle with that. Or am I going to be able to walk away from this lifestyle in order to be in this new lifestyle? And I think that that's what you also see with a lot of women who become they were 304s and now they're not anymore. They still battle with
right back to it.
I say all the time, you don't learn how to be a wife or be a husband by getting married. You learn it before.
Exactly.
So you're out here dating the world and then think you can turn it off. Like because that's still, that energy is still on you. That's why you end up, you say, okay, I'm gonna date you one person or court you one person, whatever you want to call it, and then we're gonna see if this can work. But a lot of people are just like, you know, let's jump right in and let's do this. So and not even knowing all, just like Milf on the Move was saying, like not knowing all the details, like, and understanding like, well, if this is what is supposed to happen in the church, that was a conversation that should have been said. Like, I like you attractive, you sexy or whatever, but this is what you cannot do because this is what is going to happen. So, you know.
Yeah.
All right, guys. Y'all know I'm at my limit. Do y'all want to? This is usually I try to transition to. I'm trying to transition to open panel, right? So this is my chance of saying, hey, you know, shout out to YouTube. I will play an introductory song to. I have some people who want to talk to you guys, but if you guys want to go, I see Miss Ty says she got to go. You want to leave?
I'm good.
Okay.
I'm good.
Maya, are you willing to stay for the panel? Okay. Milf, do you have some stuff you want to do?
No, how about like another 15 minutes or so?
Okay. All right. So what we're gonna do, like I said, and this is good for, like I said, I'm working on the transition. You know, I see a lot of shows they just open up a panel and then like it just gets splattered all into the thing. So I'm trying to get a good way of transitioning to say opening the panel up. So we're gonna open the panel up. If you haven't already, if you got to this part, please subscribe to Red Lipstick Vibes. If you haven't already, follow Milf on the Move. She has a YouTube channel. I've been trying to get her to get it up, but she likes Instagram, I guess. And then Mayat Speaks. Please subscribe to her. So I'm gonna bring up my guests. If anybody wants to join, click the link. I pinned it to the comment section. We'll probably go on for a little bit, but the call lines are now open. All right, that's a little too long. Damn, I'm gonna fix that. Hey, I'm working on it over here. So I got my guy. I got my guy, Chaotic Truth. What's going on?
What's going on? Can you hear me?
Yes, yes. He said he can't cam up. See,
Yeah,
we
it's a long.
supposed we supposed to be representing for the dark skin
Yeah,
committee. You know what I
yeah,
mean?
yeah. I had to show some dark skin love over on the Star Report earlier tonight, and I made that video the other day about colorism as well. So holding it down for the blackies like myself. Nevertheless, though, I want to broach the panel. First of all, what's up, eBlack? Miss Ty Speaks. Mayat, we've spoken before. I don't know if you remember me.
Yes, I remember
And
you.
Milf on the move. Hello. Look, I just cammed up. I heard the last 20 minutes of this great panel. Guys, if you are in the chat, if you are in the bushes, please hit the like and please share this video to your friends, family, and etc. Look, let's keep it real. A 6'2" woman that's built like a linebacker who wears tight clothes should never, ever, ever be the representation of femininity. In actuality, she is the opposite of femininity. When I heard you guys talking about uh,
Chaotic,
well,
chaotic,
what
chaotic.
well, I'm chaotic, sir. You gotta let me broach what I'm gonna say. I'm listen. Femininity. Okay, okay. How about this? How about this? Megan Thee Stallion is not a representation of femininity, and I'm glad that the panel agrees with that. She is a over sexualized woman, and she should be shamed in our community. I mean, it is shameful that these women exist. I mean, what? I mean, listen, look, I'm married now, as you know, eBlack, but I'm not that old, but I'm not that young. But listen, man, I've gotten around the block. But if a girl didn't listen to Anita Baker, Regina Bell, if they didn't listen to these types of beautiful, if a woman didn't listen to Sade, that let me know. That's an indicator. That's a benchmark that this woman is not a feminine woman. Now, let me tell you a story, E Black. You know, my parents are Nigerian, but I'm a proud American. I love America.
Okay.
But I met this girl straight off the boat from Congo back in college. She was a beautiful black girl. Oh, I still remember her to this day. Her name was, oh, I almost said her. Well, I said her name. Her name was Nellie. Now, check this out. Now, her uncle was a professor on the campus that I went to. And she had invited me over to, oh, please get that linebacker off the screen. Oh, get her off the screen, E Black. Now, this young lady invited me on the to her
I'm gonna
uncle's
need you
house.
to stop capping on my channel, my guy.
Sir, I'm not capping, sir. You know I made videos. You know I made videos about that woman who looks like Larry Johnson. Now listen, she looks like Larry Johnson, sir.
I'm
She looks like
sorry. I'm sorry. Chaotic.
E
I
Black.
love
Are
you.
you gonna let me like? Are
I
you gonna
love
let me
I
finish or
love
not?
you, my guy. I'm gonna let you
Are
finish,
you
but
gonna
I
let
just
me
want to
finish?
make sure. I just want to make sure that we're not getting into. We don't cap on my channel. I'm sorry.
I'm not capping. You know sir. First,
I'm sorry. I'm just
sir,
sorry.
this
I
woman
can't
is
do it.
built like a middle linebacker off the Bears. Let's
I'm
stop.
sorry. I'm sorry.
E Black,
Sorry.
stop.
Sorry, my
E
guy.
Black, stop it. You know damn well if this was 1992, that woman would have a hard time trying to find a man looking the way that she did. Now stop it. Are we forgetting? No, hold on. Hear me out, Miss. Hold on, Miss Speaks. Give me a second. I'm now. Hold on. Now let me finish my story. Now I met this girl straight off the boat. She was Congolese. She spoke Lingala. She taught me a little bit of a Lingala. So she invited me to her uncle's house. Her uncle was a professor. I get into the house. I get into the basement. It's a table full of all types of a table full of like dishes from Congolese or Congo. It was beer on the table. I said, "Baby, who is this for?" She didn't know that much English, and she said, "It's for you. It's for you." And I said, "Oh." And that right there is an example of femininity, catering to a man, even if we weren't together. I was at a Nigerian party. Now, these Nigerians are straight off the boat in college. Again, I'm going to use another college story. I was trying to help these beautiful beautiful black women clean up. They kicked me out the kitchen. They said men are not supposed to be in the kitchen, let alone helping women. But I was too drunk, and they had to literally physically get me out of there. So all I'm saying is that femininity is a woman's behavior. Is she conservative? Does she have long flowing hair?
Oh
Is
God.
she whoa, hear me out. I'm almost done. Let me say, guys, hold on. Is she quiet? Does she not bring stress to my life when I get home?
Yeah, I
Is
agree.
she a chatty patty? See, that's femininity.
Patty.
But if a woman is in your car and she turns on City Girls, you have to pull over and get her out, because that is an example of over sexualization. The only man that a woman should ever be over sexualized for is her husband. That's it. And this is what I tried to teach young ladies when I was a teacher. This is what I try to teach the boys. Listen, this is the kind of women that you want. Yeah, now I understand some of you guys are going to go off to college and sleep around. But the woman that you should bring into your house when your mom is in the house should be a beautiful feminine woman. Period, point blank. Guys, what say you? What say you, Ma?
So, okay. I agree with some, but here's the thing that people do.
I'm going to go on mute.
People, they'll they'll sprinkle some truth,
Yeah.
some with not truth in there.
Mm-hmm.
So the thing is I would ask, what are we doing to make this balance? Because you're saying that femininity is something. So you're saying femininity is based off of men, period. Like there's no other area that femininity is based off of. So I don't know if you have. So
Are
I
you
don't.
asking me a question, or
Yeah, so you're saying femininity is based off what a man desires.
by God's own ordination? It is, Ma. The universe is the greatest thing other than a man. We
Okay.
create. Oh, I'm
Okay,
gonna answer your question.
chaotic.
I'm sorry. I'm just trying to answer questions. I'll go on mute. Sorry. I'll go on mute.
So within that, we
I'm just trying to answer
understand
a question.
that there's the feminine principle and the masculine principle created the universe. It wasn't just the masculine. So you do understand that, right, Chaotic?
No.
So no, you're saying the masculine created the universe.
Everything in the universe is masculine.
Oh.
And now I'm answering your question. I'm not trying to take over the panel. I'm just trying to answer your question from my perspective. Now, again, I could be wrong and you could be right, but this is my perspective. This is my chaotic truth. Men create societies. Men manage those societies. Men die for those societies. If it were not for men, you wouldn't have a microphone in your face. You wouldn't have a camera in your face. You wouldn't have your Maserati outside, Ma'at, respectfully. You wouldn't have the glasses on your face. Men, we create everything. So it is our divine right to expect a woman to be conservative. It is our divine right to expect a woman to be domestic. That's all you have to do. No man really wants his. My wife is a tax attorney and she doesn't even practice law anymore because it is not your nature to go to some white man or black man's building and work for him. You're supposed to work for your family, your children. That's it. My mom, my dad. Go ahead. I'm sorry, I'm gonna go on.
Yeah, so I don't have a problem with that. I don't have
I
a
know.
problem because that's based on your family unit. So I don't really go into other people's households and tell them how to manage their households. Now, but within when you say that, because we're talking about taking it from a macro to a micro level here. So we're talking about the universe. We cannot say that the universe is just masculine, that only masculinity created the universe and created anything. Because if that's the case, you do not need us to create life, to bring life into the world.
Right.
If you're
I think it's the feminine energy. That's what I'm heard. I don't know.
And that's the thing we have to understand. Within the creation of the universe, these energies were exchanging. That's what masculine and feminine energy is. It's a constant exchange of energy. That's what sex is. It's an exchange of energy. If it's just masculine, then you wouldn't be having sex with a woman. That's what femininity does. It is a creation. Feminine energy is creation, and the masculine energy puts it into action. It puts it into the form. Women receive, feminine energy receives, and the masculine energy puts that thing into action. When you talk about chaos, chaos is the feminine energy. There is nothing wrong in chaos, but it puts it in. You need the chaos, the feminine energy, in order to bring the structure. That's what before the universe became the universe, it was chaos. It was chaotic. And then the masculine energy put that into form, put the action into it, gave it the order, gave it the structure. So when we're talking about masculine and femininity within a relationship, you're talking about the order that the masculine energy can bring to the chaotic energy. And please understand me, I'm not saying that women are chaotic. I'm saying that feminine form, that's what happens when creation. Think about any time that you're about to create content, create a piece of art. It is chaotic. It is a bunch of ideas and thoughts rolling around in your head. That is feminine energy. And then when you get that content and it is a complete working art, that is masculine energy. That is the order and that is the structure. To say that women just need to sit silent and be here and nothing else is happening because men created everything, that is a false statement, and it's actually a very dangerous statement to be saying. That is not a correct thing to be putting in the minds of anyone, to make it seem like women are not needed in there. Like I said, you had some truth there. Obviously you had truth there, but you sprinkled in some lies in there in it, and so the lies get hidden by the truth. That's all I have to say.
Mm-hmm. I'm listening. I'm listening.
So,
I don't
so,
disagree with
so,
you.
so let's do this. Let's do this. Miss Ty, you want to add anything on to that?
No, Maya said it all.
Milf?
I,
Oh,
I'm, you know, I mean,
well,
like you said, some of the things that he said was actually right about, some of the things that a feminine woman would do, you know, kind of sprinkle a little bit of in there.
I just, man, chaotic is my guy. Sometimes I just have to just tell him to come in with the sparring gloves and not the 12 ounce. Cause he comes in and he comes in. He's the type of guy that comes to the gym with in 8 ounce sparring gloves, and I'm like, bro, we're just bring the 16s, man. Just, but so let's see. We talked about that, right? So chaotic, chaotic.
Yes, I'm here.
What do you think? What do you think about the discussion that we were having in regards to sexuality and femininity? Let me ask you this: do you think
Sure.
that a woman could be 100% feminine without any sexuality?
Absolutely.
Mm.
Absolutely. We have examples of that right now on this on this planet. Look at the Jewish community. I live around Jews.
There's
I
no
love
sexuality in Jewish community. I'm sorry.
Yeah, there's none. And I love their community. I love their community. The women are so conservative and they're so meek and they're so mild. They walk in the neighborhoods and they walk with the children and they just enjoy life and they're a community based people. And
So we're
and
talking
and
about
you
white
know
Jewish
what,
women.
Maya, give
I
me
just
a
want
sec.
clarification. I'm just
Um,
clarification.
huh?
You're talking about white Jewish women?
I'm talking about the Jewish women that I see. And
What would
all
But
they
I'm
do you see
look
these
like?
women in their homes with their husbands?
Okay, wait a minute. Let me finish.
Okay, go ahead.
Let me finish. Now, I'm not disagreeing with you, ladies. Let me finish.
Okay.
Now, I was asked, can you be 100% feminine and not be sexual? Again, I look at the Jewish individuals that I see with my own eyes. They're not walking around in skimpy outfits. They're not overexposing themselves in public by talking loud and being obnoxious, like some groups of women, I hate to say it, black women, white women, that have become westernized. I'm not putting everybody in a bunch, but generally the Jewish faith teaches conservatism, and they teach that you are not to be over sexualized in public. Now, I don't know what Jewish women do in the home with their husbands, but I know in public that they are not sexualized.
Is that like those other the
You don't
women?
see them.
I don't
Wait
know
a
what.
minute, Milf. I'm almost done. You don't see them.
I'm sorry
You
about
don't
that.
see them. You don't see them making vulgar music. You don't see them making. They're. I hate to say it, but they're not even. Name me a over sexualized Jewish entertainer that's a female. And these are the things that I'm saying about this cultural group. They are just better than most cultural groups in this country and probably abroad. Oh, now that's a little bit too provocative. Maybe the dress needs to be a little bit lower.
What? Oh
Yeah,
my
a
God.
little bit lower, a little bit lower, and the one in the middle shouldn't be
What we're
staring.
not gonna do is cap, my guy.
I'm not capping. This is the whole. Okay.
No,
Okay.
no wife
Okay,
wears her
Milf.
skirts down
Okay.
to the
I
ground.
literally, all I had to do was type in 2 words: Jewish women,
Oh my God.
Okay.
and trust me, it gets worse.
Okay, Miss Ty, what did you want to ask me? Go ahead.
So you said that their dresses need to be a little bit longer. Are you saying that your wife wears dresses down to her ankles or to the ground?
Yeah, absolutely. My wife, I actually wanted her to wear pants. She doesn't even like wearing pants, so she wears dresses down to her ankles. And like, truth be told, listen, I'm not trying to come on here and pretend like I'm some angel. Listen, I've slept around. But when it comes to a committed relationship, the standard for me is you are going to have a dress to your ankles. You're not going to have any tattoos. You're not going to be loud. You're not going to be, obnoxious.
I'm out.
Yeah. Now, Mel, hold on. That wasn't a shot to you. I'm just saying that's just my. You got to go to my channel. I listen. I wish my wife would come on right now, but those are just standards for me. I'm sorry.
Love
So
to
Is that more of like a
do you
religious
practice
standard?
like
Religious
Muslim
standard?
or Islam or
I practice what is divinely inspired in me from the universe.
No, that's stop. We're not bringing this to religion. I'm
No, I
sorry.
know. I didn't.
I was asking him that
Look,
because,
hold on. I got a mute button. Hold on. Time out.
I was just asking that because of the style of dress he was talking about his wife wears. So I was asking you.
Yeah, that
I would
Okay.
have her head covered, and that's the only reason why I asked about religion.
Okay, so let's just keep this in line. He stated that there was a group of people that he felt were more feminine and lacked sexuality. I'm sorry, chaotic. You're gonna have to give me another group of people who did not view this, and in another way, chaotic. In another way, that I also want to say this, chaotic. There are pictures that I can show you that throughout our human history, we've always viewed femininity through the lens of sexuality.
And look, okay, you want me to answer?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm about to give
I'm just trying to keep. I just
chaotic answer.
I just want you
Look
to keep
at the
going.
cultures.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to meet you.
Oh, no.
I'm sorry.
Okay, I'm gonna give a very chaotic answer, and and this is gonna hurt people on the panel, but that's the whole point of me being chaotic. Look at the cultures in society that embrace sexuality and look at what happened to those cultures. Look what happened to Rome. Look what happened to, I hate to say it, but look what happened to Babylon. Look what we know in Africa what happened because they at times didn't wear anything. And look what happened to those cultures. Look what happened to the Southeast Asian cultures. But I find it funny. I bet you this. I bet you in Japan, you can't go back 1,000 years and find a picture of thousands of pictures of naked women. Because you know why? Because that type of behavior represents a primitive state. Why is it that the Japanese people are superior to the Cambodians? The Cambodians have all types of pictures of them being naked, but not the Japanese. Why are the Japanese superior? Maybe it's because of behaviors in their culture. Here goes the thing though.
That's a
Look
good
at
point.
look at European cultures. I bet you can't find me pictures of naked German women, but I bet you could find me thousands of pics of ancient women in Greece who are naked. And look at Greece and look at Germany to this day. One European culture is better than the other. So all I'm saying is that maybe, just maybe, there is a correlation between uh, uh, over sexualization and culture in terms of dominance. That's all I'm saying. Now, I could be wrong. It is 10 o'clock at night. My brain is kind of slow right now, but I could
But
be
what
wrong.
about, I mean, if you bringing up these cultures, just really quick, I'm this kind of religious, but you know how like Adam and Eve, as they say, they were naked until they found out, they didn't know they were naked. Is it the knowledge of it?
Well,
Well, I don't really believe in the Bible, so I can't really answer your question on that one. I mean, yeah.
so here's the thing, though. Like we're viewing sexuality as something through someone else's lenses. Because who told you that nakedness was a problem? Like where is that coming from?
That's true.
That's coming
That's true.
from something that is we're not unlayering. We're not unlayering the fact that our sexuality is coming through the lens. Our sexuality, the way we look at femininity, even the way we look at masculinity, is through the lens of whiteness, because we live in a society that is dominated by whiteness. Your thoughts are white. The way that you move is through whiteness. The way that your values, your
Right.
morality, all of that is through whiteness. So you can put pictures on something which is not necessarily true, because you're going to find certain pictures, because it was not about the sexuality. It was more about what they deemed as art and what they deemed as
Right.
artistic.
Right.
And so you have certain things like the Renaissance time and things like that, so that you saw the paintings and you saw
Mm-hmm.
different things change. We cannot just say it was about sexuality. Are we
True.
going to say that Rome went down
I was
because
just
of
about to say that.
sexuality? Like, are
Okay.
we
I
really
was
going to say
just
that?
Well, okay. So, yeah, I mean, you make good points.
it's
A
the white.
lot of historians believe that there's different beliefs as to why Rome collapsed. One of them is social decay. A lot of historians believe social decay led to Rome collapsing. A lot of historians believe that Rome had become so powerful that they became unchallenged. So essentially, they became a lazy state, et cetera, et cetera. But what I'm saying is, if you look at cultures on the planet, look at Africa. I hate to say it, our ancestors, ancient ancestors. No, I know eBlack. Okay, maybe that. Okay, I won't say it then. eBlack. Okay, I
I
won't
know
say
because
it.
I know where you're
Get it?
going with this.
I won't say
I,
it. I don't want to hurt anybody's grown ass feelings. Okay, I'm gonna be quiet. I won't say
all
it,
right, so
but I
let's
am going
just.
to say it though.
But can I say something? Just piggybacking off of what Mott said, like the white, it's the white thinking. Because at the end of the day, like back in the day, once again, it was only the white women with the long hair, and they was wearing lace fronts and all that, the extension and the fake boobs. Like they was the ones who was doing that. Black people wasn't paying for bodies,
Yep.
so I agree.
Well, yeah. Well, here goes the thing. Like I said before, men control the world. Women, let's be honest, and let's be completely honest. Matt, you still have your father in your life?
Yes, I do.
Okay. Miss Ty, Milf, you guys have your father in your life?
Never met the
Okay.
man.
Let's be honest. Let's be completely honest. You guys right now, I don't know how old you guys are. You guys can say, Daddy, can you come help me with my car? Daddy, can you come this? And I bet you your dad, he could be 80 years old. He will get his black ass out of the bed and come help you immediately.
Yeah.
Women are catered to in society. So you guys have the luxury.
We got the power. That's why.
Yeah, you have the
Power.
luxury of saying these things, but men dominate. So let's not. So that's all I'm saying. We have the right as men to dictate terms and conditions. Yes.
So does anyone dominate you?
Absolutely not.
No one dominates you?
No.
So black men as a whole in this society, do they control? Do they have power?
Are you crazy? What kind of question is that? No.
So then, in essence, Black men are dominated, correct?
In terms of the culture in which we live in, absolutely yes. In terms of science, mathematics, technology, business, absolutely yes. If you live in the Western countries, you are dominated by the majority group, and the majority group are
Yeah.
white elites. So
Mhm.
yes,
So, what is the whole idea of men as a whole? So, you're putting yourself kind of in the same bubble as white men, correct? Like you see yourself as the same as white men?
I see myself as the universe experiencing a guy on a planet. That's it.
Okay, you're experiencing yourself, the
I
universe.
I
So,
just listen.
could you say that again for me?
I'm a little deeper. I'm a little deeper than you guys.
No,
Respectfully.
you're not as deep as me, but
I'm
You
a
don't
nah,
even know me, so
sweetheart.
I
I'm
can't
a
say that.
man. See, that's your problem, Hayat. I'm a man. Now you're telling me that I'm not deeper than you. Of course, I'm deeper than you.
you
I'm a
just said
man.
that you just said you were deeper than you just said
My,
that you were deeper than
my,
me.
my,
I am a God having a human
my,
experience. I
my,
do believe
my,
that. I
my,
am a God having
my,
a human experience.
my.
Ooh wee.
You know
I
as
like
well as
that.
I do that men, our brains are, let's be honest, this is respect. Our brains have to be superior because men, no, they do, because men have to maintain society. So it's even in deep depthness. No, your brain is not better than mine in terms of that.
I
Okay,
feel
so
like
here's
women,
the
we
You
have the
even
power.
know
I feel
that.
like we have the
You even
power.
know that.
I feel like we have
If
the power.
society were to
you're making it a man against woman thing. That's not
no,
what
no,
it
I'm
is.
not. I'm making
You
it
said
every.
men dominant over women,
It's a
but y'all
reciprocal.
Okay,
men
I'll
would
go
not
on mute,
be
guys. I'll
active
wait till you
without
guys
us.
let me talk. Okay,
So
so I'll go on mute. Sorry, go ahead. No,
Okay,
go ahead.
1 second, 1 second. I'm sorry.
okay.
I'm gonna introduce somebody else who's coming up. He's a new person to this channel.
Hey,
How's it
how y'all
going, Petey?
doing? How you
Uh,
doing?
how you doing? I'm sorry. As you know, what happened recently with Lapeef, I'm being very much active, proactive, in making sure that people come up. I've never seen your name before. You subscribe to me?
I can. I don't have an
Yes,
issue with
please.
that. Yeah, I
Yeah,
got
please. In fact, yes, you have to.
you.
I,
Yeah.
but yeah, nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you
I
too.
just wanted to introduce myself because, like I said, my channel is a family. We all kind of know each other here, and I just wanted to make sure that I was bringing on somebody who wasn't here to. If you don't know the rules around here, I enjoy any discourse, but try to get, if you're far right or far left of any type of talking point, try to get it more moderated to the center so we can have a good talking. You understand?
Oh yeah. I'm all about balance, between the duality and polarity of things. So yeah, I'm good. I'm pretty mature, and
Yeah,
I
I
appreciate it.
just,
Thank you for letting me get on your platform.
yeah, like I said, I'm trying to set a standard here, man.
For sure.
I love having the women talk. I love having my, even chaotic, as crazy as he is. I love having
As
him.
chaotic
I,
as he is.
yeah, as crazy as his, I love having him talk. But sometimes I hear, if you're too loud on both sides, you can't really get in the middle of the conversation. And I love having these type of conversation. Um, but yeah, I'm sorry. Where
No,
was you
it's
guys?
no, it's cool. It's all respect. I actually have spoken on Chaotic's platform before.
Okay, that's
Um,
not helping you. But
hey,
Don't be double teaming us. One is enough. One is
Hey,
enough.
it's all hey, it's all good. Hey, look, real talk. Hey, no judgment. I ain't judging y'all, so don't judge
yeah,
me.
yeah, that's it. All
I
right,
gotta
so
prove.
what?
Let me prove myself on your channel real quick, and
Yeah,
so let's go
no
from there.
problem. No problem. How about this? How much have you heard about the conversation in regards to sexuality and femininity?
I heard a lot about it. I mean, it's a conversation that's like everywhere, pretty much. You know what I'm saying? And I think from my perspective, it's all about respecting somebody else's perspective. A lot of us we speak a lot of we say a lot of things from a position of our perspective, but it's hard to like really be aware or become aware of somebody else's perspective unless we step out of our own and go into theirs, understand theirs, and then come back to our own and then let them know that we understand theirs, but then they have to do the same thing for us.
Yeah,
I
that's
agree.
good. So let me ask you this, Petey.
Yes, sir.
If I was to say that you know, in today's society, we're over sexualizing women. What would you think about that?
I would say it's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? A lot of things that actually develop themselves usually develop themselves over time, but they do it. It's for a reason. You know what I'm saying? But it's always up to the individuals, and then collectively they have to become aware of what's going on and whether it's a good thing or it's a bad thing. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everything has duality to it, but just like you said earlier, it has to be a balance, and so that's the balance between the polar opposites. If you go too far right, and that's the only side that you see, then you never understand the other side. So you're not operating in the universal law of duality. You know what I'm saying? So you got to know both sides in order to understand the balance in between.
Okay. So, do you really think that you didn't answer the question?
And I know. I'm getting to that point. I was just waiting to see if you was gonna ask another question or not.
No, no. I
Okay,
try
yeah.
to get to the point.
So my take on it is this: like, it doesn't affect me at all unless it's concerning anything that's dealing with like the law. So like, prime example, I'm dealing with child support, right?
Hmm.
So I defend my own cases in child support, but it's funny how they approach the situation. They try to present it as the woman is the enemy, and I become aware of that. And so when I recognize that, I realize that okay, it's not the woman that's the enemy, it's them. But if you're not aware of that, then you can look at the woman as being like, oh, okay, she's trying to tear down a black man. She's trying to express herself like, I am woman, hear me roar. We running everything. We don't need no man. This and that and the third. And that's not the case. Like in most cases, a man should want a woman that's strong and she could stand her own and present herself without being affected or move or anything of that nature. Because at the end of the day, if the man is weak, then the woman got to be able to hold him up, and then vice versa.
So, do
So
you
I think
believe
I think that
do you believe that women are ignoring their traditional roles, or do you think it's just a natural progression of societies being?
I just think it's evolution. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, let's look at it. Like, can tradition exist right now? Given like the money situation, finances, where we at in the world, like, can it exist right now? I mean, you got like the LGBT community. You know what I'm saying, rising up. Like it's kind of hard to even really say that tradition like actually is holding its own right now. You know what I'm saying?
Anybody got something to say to that?
I mean, what is tradition? What are we saying is tradition?
I believe he's talking about like the roles of the male and the female when it comes to relationships or just I guess any dynamic that exists between the man and a woman.
Okay, and so the other question I would say ask to that is how far are we willing to go back if we're talking about
Ooh.
traditional roles?
I
Because if
think
we're
that's
gonna go back, if we're gonna go back to
That's probably
when
like
we
2 decades
here,
ago. 2 decades,
are we
three
gonna go
decades
back
ago.
to right? Like, because
Go
the
I
back
thing
to
is,
mean if we really gonna
Why are
talk
you
about it,
laughing? Like,
if we no,
two,
it's cool. It's
two
cool.
decades ago was 2000. So,
yeah, you
That
right.
is 2000 though, for real.
Okay, so like 3, 4 decades ago, I forget.
I, I
I love
mean,
Bill. She's a sweetheart.
I mean, if we really gonna talk about it, then we got to talk about it with applied purpose. So, like, I mean, let's look at it from the origin of like, what was the purpose of women of color joining the women's rights movement? That wasn't their
Mhm.
movement.
right?
So
Correct.
why join that? You know what I'm saying? I mean, we could go far as
Arguably,
back as that.
arguably, you want to strengthen numbers, and arguably, you needed strength in lobbying.
I mean, women already had strength in numbers because a lot of the situations that happened during the civil rights movement couldn't happen without the women that was backing the men that was representing in the front lines.
Men
But
cannot survive without women. That's all I can say.
I agree. Obama wouldn't be
There,
Obama without Michelle.
so there's
yeah,
Period.
no see the we have an issue because we tend to fight their battles, but then there's no one fighting our battles but our own, and we're sitting here standing alone fighting with each other.
The battle of
So,
what?
Yeah, I'm confused.
so
When you
like
said their battles, who is
their
there?
battles. I'm talking about white folks' battles. Like we sit up there, we go and we fight their battles. When it
Mm,
comes to feminism, that was their
Right,
battle with their men. And
right,
we sat up there like
right.
some crazy people
right,
trying to fight their battle when our
Mm-hmm.
issue was not with our men.
right.
And when you even think about white women anyway, they were participating with our oppression. They were already participating within that.
Right.
So it's an issue because an issue I have is the fact that we as Black men and Black women are constantly battling with one another over what?
Exactly.
What are we battling over?
Exactly. I mean, once
Exactly.
again, if I had to like bring it to some clarity, and this is just my opinion from my perspective, I would say it's just a lack of respect for each other. Like we got to see the value in each other in order to understand why we battling each other. You know what I'm saying? And I think the value is lost and is being replaced by meaningless things like material possessions, finance, money and stuff like that. Although you need money, yes, to live a prosperous heavenly life. Yes, I understand that, but
They're misusing it though.
yeah, exactly. Like it's like how are you using it? And once again, that goes into the duality of things. Like, all right, like are you using it for good? Are you using it for bad? You know what I'm saying? So you got to find your balance, and I just feel like the balance is being thrown off through social media. I mean, like you see a lot of things that are like seem to be real, but they really not real. You know what I'm saying? And then you got a lot of people who follow the lives and want to live the lives of celebrities, but celebrities are not. All of them don't have their life together. I used to do security, so I used to see stuff behind the camera. All of them don't really got their stuff together for real.
Okay,
you know
Chris Brown.
It's like, so it's a lot of capping going on.
Okay, so wait.
Use them as the
All
barometer.
right.
Exactly.
All right, PD, I'm gonna pick your brain because I don't know how much you've seen of my content. So I'm gonna pick your brain.
Yeah.
Do you ask women for their body count?
No.
Why? Don't you want? Wait a second. Is it zero number? Do you want virgins or do you want a high body count? What do you?
All you gotta do is stick it in, see if it's tight.
In all honesty, like I just want respect because at the end of the day, you know what I'm saying? Like how like value is created. You know what I'm saying? Like I mean, yeah, you want to make sure like you're not walking around with somebody who can like tarnish your image, but at the end of the day, that don't necessarily mean you can't have a relationship with a person who's been around because sometimes you can't cast stones until you look at yourself. You feel me? So with most men, although society says that men can like have their numbers really, really high, you know what I'm saying? I mean, if you really look at it, a woman is being entered into. So it's more so like they have a house. It's like how many people is in your house, how many people is walking around in your rugs and stuff like that, as opposed to a man where his stuff is on the outside and it's like, well, shoot, he's on the outside. His stuff is on the outside. However, if you're looking at it from a spiritual point of view, I mean, it's pretty much even across the board.
Man, I like Petey. I like Petey.
Right.
Petey talk. Petey talk.
Housewife, okay.
Look. Y'all say no to ratchet eBlack. All right. So.
No, I mean, me and Chaotic, we battle, but I respect his point of view. I mean,
I'm gonna bring the fellas down. I'm gonna put the dark skin committee in line. Okay, so.
You got his Robin thing on.
Me and Chaotic, we do battle though. I do agree with him in some instances because I can't like just completely dismantle his perspective. However,
he be tripping.
It takes two. It takes two. It's not just one. It takes two. You know what I'm saying? So it's a little, shades of gray in there a little bit.
Can I speak? It's over. It's over for the.
So quiet. Where Bob at?
It's over for the millennials, for the boomers, for Generation X. It's over. But this younger generation, and listen, I used to teach. Listen, we have to get back to conservative values. The idea of even having to ask a woman her body count is absurd. We need to go back to the days where vetting is important and the dowry system is important.
Right.
Those ancient traditions that worked. It ain't working now. Listen, a woman.
Wait, we going back to dowry? Hold on. What?
We have to. Listen, I don't have any children, but listen.
How old are you? How old are you, Chaotic?
I'm 37. Now, if I had a child,
we're going back to dowry. We're going back. No.
I would want.
I'm sorry, Chaotic. I like how I get down. You said that we need to go back to traditions that are based on dowry and sacred traditions.
Yeah.
Okay.
Just okay. Oh, you gonna let me talk?
Yeah, go ahead.
What's
I just wanted
sacred?
to make sure.
Clarify
So
sacred traditions for me.
here goes the thing, since you want to cut me off every 2 seconds.
I
Oh
need
no, my
clarification.
God, I meant
Now, hear me out for a minute. The idea is this: I have a child, like it could be a boy or a girl, and a friend of mine has a child too. They're relatively the same age. Let's say I have a son, he has a daughter. The idea is that you almost engineer them being together as adults. You have them bond as children. You have them mingle as children. And then obviously, when they hit puberty, they're going to fall in love with each other.
What?
Obviously.
Laugh at me all you want, but laugh at me all you want. But I come from a nuclear family. All my friends come from nuclear families. Now, I don't know anybody who came from a dowry system, but those ancient traditions worked. They were married back then. Were they not?
Okay.
young age back in the day, yeah.
All I'm saying is that,
honestly, I don't have an issue with what you're saying.
yeah.
I really don't, because I would love to pre-vet my children's mate.
Like that.
So I don't really have an issue with that. I have an issue with what you're what you're calling certain things, and then saying that you're coming where you did your parents pick out your spouse?
No, I'm free. I do what I want to do. I was rebellious as a kid.
Okay.
And my spouse, me and her, just got married in August.
So how much discipline does the man have to have?
What do you
Because
mean?
we're putting all this discipline on women, which I agree. I believe that women should be disciplined with their
You're damn right.
But how much discipline is on the man?
We gonna have time. No.
The man. Oh, I'm sorry. Go ahead, Pete.
No, go ahead, brother.
The man, and Petey knows this. The man has to be. It's the responsibility of the man to be disciplined. We have to be. It is our duty. When I hear men complain about their wives, their spouses, their children, their whatever, it's almost like, quit crying. You are a man. You have the duty of leadership. So hopefully that answers your question, Maya.
It did not. I'm sorry.
Okay,
so I want to know how much discipline does the man have to have as far as his sexual relations?
So
okay, go ahead.
I'm gonna speak on that. Let me speak on that. Okay. I think the man should have discipline based on value that's being created. Yeah, you could be physically attracted, yes, but being mentally attracted is a whole different thing. Being spiritually attracted is a whole different thing. You know what I'm saying? Those are things that I guess you obtain through vetting. You know what I'm saying? However, you still got to be real with yourself, even to know, like, okay, you may have red flags that this person see, and you may see red flags too, right? However, it's like, all right, are these red flags going to stop you from looking at it from a standpoint that it can work out? I mean, we've seen situations where people do get together, they do everything that they supposed to do correctly, and then the relationship still doesn't work out because people evolve. You know what I'm saying? So I believe from my perspective, in terms of discipline, it has to be a purpose and a reason for it in terms of creating value. You know what I'm saying? Because I mean, anybody can like be physically attracted to anybody. However, you know, when the physical attraction leaves, what is it that keeps you being attracted to that person after the fact? You know, and that's where, you know, I feel like a lot of the practices are like lost. You know, value has to be created through like spiritual connection, through mind connection. You know what I'm saying? Other than that, the physical is only gonna be there for so long. It's almost like, prime example, it's almost like, what's your favorite car, right? You got your favorite car, but then a newer version comes out with newer things and newer, you know, stuff, right? And so think about that in terms of like relationships, like you with somebody and then stuff is going bad or whatever, it's going to the left, right? Nothing is the same. So now, you know, you looking at somebody else, they're better. Like everything just seems like the grass is just greener on the other side, right? So you forgetting about everything that you developed in your old relationship. You go into the new one because it's new, it's like a fresher breath air, right?
Right.
And then you think that this is like what you want, but then you get into the new one and then it's all bad because you refuse to work on the things that was making the situation go bad in the other one. Everybody is not exempt to 4 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Everybody got to go through the 4 seasons every year. You know, you can't. You got to go through winter. You got to go through fall. Got to go through spring. Got to go through summer. So that's like prepping, planning, harvesting. You know what I'm saying? And then starting the process all over again.
Right.
You got to enjoy all of that. But if you don't find any enjoyment in the development of learning how to love not only yourself first, but then love the person across from you because you love yourself, then it just won't work out. You got to find the value. The value, like love is an action. So if you love yourself, you do stuff to show that you love yourself so you can appreciate yourself, right? So it's the same thing. When you're showing love to somebody else, you're showing love through your actions, but then the appreciation comes behind it. That's just my perspective, though. That doesn't necessarily mean it's fact.
I agree with that. So the thing is, and I talk about this on my channel. So the thing is, I believe in the balance in a relationship. I believe in creating that harmony. I've been married for 14 years.
That's dope.
And so the thing is that learning how to, through all of those stages, I don't know if the spark goes out. I ain't been there yet. So,
that's
it's
good.
just, and that's the thing, but people have to understand you are going to go through those stages where it's not going to always feel perfect. It's not, you go through the stage. The first few years of marriage, that's hard. That's hard work. Extremely hard work. But it's that whole idea of getting that reward after you have been through so many of the stages. And I like what you said, going through those seasons. But the reason I asked that question is because a lot of times, and I say this, and I preach this, that women do need to be very responsible for their wounds. They need to be responsible because you got to understand those energies that are entering your wounds. And it's like I said, femininity, the feminine principle is a receiver. Your womb is a receiver. So those energies are going to stay there. And then when you procreate, those energies can be absorbed by that child. So that's very important that you understand what our womb is and all of that. But at the same time, I also preach to I have 4 kids, so I have 2 boys, 2 girls. We have 2 boys, 2 girls. And the thing that I also say to my boys, as much as I say to my girls, that they need to be very concerned about their wound and things like that. I also will say to my sons that they have to care enough about what they are actually, the actions that they're engaging in as well. And what we see is a lot of times is a lack of discipline, or it's something that is a societal standard, a lack of discipline in men. That's okay. So go sow your wild oats. But then who are they sowing their wild oats with? And then we tell women, hey, now, you don't need to be out there being promiscuous. So the thing is, that's an imbalance. That's just what you call it, an imbalance. When you're telling one side to go sow your wild oats, go do your thing before you get married, and then you're telling the woman not to do that, but at the same time, he has to be doing it with somebody. So that's why I'm asking the question, where does the discipline come in for the male, so that we both going into the relationship have an understanding of how to treat one another?
But that's what I was kind of talking about, like creating value. Like it has to be a purpose. You know what I'm saying? Like if the purpose is not there, there's no point in being disciplined.
Period.
You know what I mean? So like prime example, like, so I've been married, had my divorce. Actually we did a show about it on Chaotic's show one time. We did an episode, and I didn't know that it was a whole blog and everything created about me. You know what I'm saying? Like when I left the situation, I left quietly and just took my L and, worked on myself and then got back up. You know what I'm saying? So I didn't go the immature route, like, this be blah, 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 blah. You know what I'm saying? I ain't going into all that. I just took my L, left it alone. But in the situation, it has, like, the way I look at it now is like, okay, it's a business, right? So you got the romantic side, but then you got the business side, right? The business side to the relationship is like, okay, if you're gonna be my forever and I'm gonna be yours, what is it that we gonna like work on together? So that way we both is constantly work on it year in and year out, and we're growing together. And if we have a kid, okay, what is our legacy gonna do? Like what they're gonna continue. You see what I'm saying? And so it's like create something where it involves purpose, and then through that purpose the value and everything else is going to come into play. Now the
Relationship goals.
exactly, now the physical part don't matter. Now you're not really looking at nobody else because you like, oh shoot, well I don't want to mess up my investment, you feel me? You know what I'm saying? And then on top of that, like if you got a real true relationship with your spouse, you know what I'm saying, or your forever or whatever you call it, you know what I'm saying, you should be able to talk about things that's real, that's true. You know what I'm saying? Like in my particular situation, you know, when stuff got out of hand, it's like, all right, I'm gonna keep it 100. Like you got this dude over here, like let's talk about that. Why you feel like you need to go over there? And then when I wasn't getting the answer from her, I maturely called the dude and I'm like, yo, you done had your fun. Yo, okay, if you consider yourself her friend or whatever, like you need to step off, man, because you messing up my relationship and I'm trying to fix it. I don't think you respect me because I wouldn't do that to you. You know what I mean? Now that's a mature approach. Now I ain't saying everybody got the power to do that, but that's discipline though. You feel me? I could have easily went left and did something violent.
Slap the hoe, go over there.
You know what I'm saying? Easily could have went left and did violent, but that usually don't result in anything that's productive. You feel me? So it's like, all right, let's really like talk about this and be mature about it and be adult, like mature adult, not immature adults. Because adult is just based on the age, in my opinion. But when you mature,
right,
you're not acting impulsively on your emotions. Like you really thinking about it, and then you come into the table like, okay, let's talk about this real quick.
But didn't you hold her like to full accountability? Because it's like, you know, you can go to the other person, but at the end of the day, it's what she's, you know.
Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah, you gotta heard. You heard what I said though. I said I approached her first. When she wasn't giving me the answers, then I went to him. You see what I'm saying?
So you think he don't have respect for you enough, you know, to, you know what I'm saying, to respect you and give you a, and you know, conversate with you.
In all honesty, no, I didn't expect it to happen like that, but I figured I would try because I've been in that situation before where a woman was coming after me, and then next thing you know, I got this man calling me out of nowhere, and he like, yo, you talking to my wife? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, I did talk to her. Like I just like kept it 100. I'm like, yeah, I talked to her and everything. Like, I didn't know she was married. She ain't tell me nothing like that. You feel me?
You didn't know she was married?
Like, you said what?
You didn't know she was married?
No, I did not.
Oh wow.
No ring, no nothing. When she came at me, no, did not.
How long without messing around?
We wasn't. She was trying to get on with me. And it was like, when I was talking to her on the phone, I'm like, man, you kind of coming at me really like tough. And so I'm just like going along with it. Then next thing you know, I get a message on Facebook from my husband like, hey, you talking to my wife? Like on that aggressive, you know what I'm saying, that aggressive side of things. So I told him, I was like, yeah, I didn't know it was your wife, but yeah, she talked to me about this and that and the third. And so instead of it going to the violent side, he was thanking me because I was being 100 with him. Because sometimes dudes don't keep it real.
Yeah, I'm women. They're like,
because you gotta have discipline not to be continuing to have sex with her and shit like that, right? Excuse my language, my bad. But you know what I mean? So it's a maturity thing. It's always gonna be a maturity thing. But the discipline, like I said, the discipline comes in, just to get back to your point. The discipline that comes in, it has to be a purpose there in order to develop the value so you can move forward and continue to, you know, latch on the years of being together. And then you can brag about it. But outside of that, if you just together just because you trying to live a traditional, you know, representation or image, then you just like, I mean, you kind of playing yourself for real.
So in all actuality, you're saying that purpose is going to have to be created within the family unit, because that's
it has to be.
That's what's it's going to have to.
You going to sleep, chaotic?
No, I'm listening. I have a question.
I saw you not. Your eyes was...
No.
What's your question?
Yeah, chaotic don't like all this peace talk and this understanding, and we're having functional conversations, and you know, he like a little.
Logically, you know, we're not going backwards. We're not going back to the tradition. You know what I'm saying? We're going to the AI, artificial intelligence, with everything. They firing everybody, putting down computers. you know what I'm saying, and everything. So it's like it is what it is. I guess they say you gotta keep up in a
I
sense,
just
you know.
I feel like you could create it though. Like I don't like. I mean, to create your true freedom, it's really just about being mature. Like for instance, like you really don't need a marriage license. You could create your whole actual bond with your
Facts.
mate. Like you
Let's
could,
go.
like
For
you could
real.
do it. You could do it just like this.
Hold
Yeah.
on, hold on. I'm gonna stop you right there.
Go ahead. You good?
Why don't you need a marriage license?
We don't need the government in the
Well,
business. It's just between me and you. Hello. No.
there you go. Like if you look at it and break down the license, right? They're telling you that you gotta pay
You
money
get, no,
to
you gotta
be.
be you gotta be recognized by the government and to have this contractual entity be recognized fully by the government.
Right, but what it is what you're doing is, remember, you're bringing an entity in between you and your spouse. That's the
N-
issue.
You're not bringing an entity.
Yes, you are,
You're
because when
solidifying your entity.
no, you're not. You solidify through the ceremony. When you bring a state or a government in between your relationship, think about it. When you decide to break up, what happens? It's
Whole
a lot
bunch
of
of
money it's a lot of money that's being dished out to break up.
right.
because
Right.
because you're dissolving an entity, which is
Right.
based on a business.
Right. So that means if it's a business, right? Like if it's me and her business, like if I could, let me go into like what I was gonna break down, right? Maturely, if I'm talking to a young lady, I'm like, okay, listen, let's do this for real. We don't need to do it the way the government say we gotta do it, because we gotta show that we're mature enough to be together. Okay. So here we go. Let's develop this business. We could call it whatever name we want, but it's our business, right? We develop
Right.
our own contract. Our own contract is this. If we're two people coming
Wait,
together creating a
I'm
business,
sorry. I'm sorry. You're developing a contract, right?
yep,
And what's the purpose of contracts?
Legally binding.
it's a bond.
By what entity being enforceable?
True.
It would be, yeah, but you got to remember, you got to understand, like if you know how the system works, then you know how to create your own contract. Like for instance, you don't have to sign the birth certificate in the hospital. You could create your own birth certificate. What's the purpose of the birth
Right.
certificate?
And I heard, doesn't sex consummate marriage anyway?
No, no, I had to. No, she's actually being serious. She's actually being
Right.
right.
I know she is. Like, all right, so all right, you got the one saying where it says like, all right, when two people come together, they create one, right, and let no man split them apart, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, let's really look at that. True marriage is actually when you have kids, because can't no man split a kid apart. The DNA is combined together between two different parents. That's true marriage, if you
Unless
really
the
think about
woman
it.
like, oh, I'm taking Ray. I'm done with your ass.
If you really
Then
think
it's
about it, true marriage is the kids. The kids is the marriage. That's two people coming together creating one. Let no man split apart. You can't split apart a kid,
That's true.
but you can split apart a marriage. You can
I'm
split
gonna get.
apart like an actual
I'm
license
about to
between
get
two
on
people.
my. I'm about to get on my chaotic truths right now.
Okay. Hey, look,
I
here,
disagree. I didn't want to. I didn't want to get too far deep into. Well, let you get down that rabbit hole. But the fact of the matter is that, like you said, a contract which is enforceable by a power greater than you, which is usually the government.
System. Right.
So
oh,
you're saying don't get married, but we're gonna have a contract which will be then enforceable by who?
Right.
The government. So
okay, so
you're making a contract to subside another contract.
yes,
Right.
yes,
True.
yes.
So
Because look,
I
because
think it's
yeah,
fear of. I understand the fear of the government being in your
it's,
business, but
it's not a
the
fear.
fact. Well, I understand the wanting to escape the government to do it, but you're still legally binding yourself to someone.
Okay, so this is the thing, right? If I'm creating a contract between me and the person I'm gonna be with, right?
Who's
Who
that a
has
contract enforceable by? I'm sorry. You're
Yeah, you're,
saying
you're you're talking about enforcement. What I'm talking about is that, all right, when you have a marriage license, then it already is telling you that if y'all decide to get a divorce, there's gonna be money involved. You're gonna probably have to get lawyers. You probably, what I'm saying, all the child support stuff, all of that stuff is already set up for you, right? That means that you never really had a say so in your whole bond.
But I see what eBlack is saying, because like you're creating the contract. So okay, let's say somebody, you know what I'm saying, break the contract or whatnot, then who's going to be the judge of, you know what I'm saying, who gets what, how y'all going to split up, you know what I'm saying?
Right, but that's the point of maturity. Listen, like, let me finish what I'm talking about when I say you create a contract, right? When you creating a contract, like, because I've been an entrepreneur, so I had to create my own contract for my own business, right? So if I go into business with you, then I am creating this contract, right? And you got to agree. You got to read it over and agree before you sign, right?
But doesn't have to get notarized and all that to be, you know what I'm saying?
Just hear me out. Just hear me out. So just hear me out. Hear me out. Because this is the reason why it's hard to receive, is because this is not practiced. You know what I'm saying? So I can understand y'all perspective. Think about it. I'm not against y'all perspective at all. I'm just showing you a different route. So if you talking to your significant other, right? Y'all come up with your own rules. So you literally come up with your own contract. So when it comes to the part where you split up, let's say the relationship don't work out, that's already in the contract of who gets what.
But by then, people gonna be in their feelings. They don't even care.
But when it comes to the law, you can't be in your feelings, because that's maturity. You can't be in your feelings and making decisions. Think about it. Whenever you're emotional about something, you're not thinking logically.
Right, but women, a lot of
sorry.
women, I say mostly, are not thinking logically, and even some men, you know, because that emotion is tied there. You have this bond.
I understand that. I definitely understand
it's easier said than done. You know what I mean?
I definitely understand that, but I've defended myself in court, and I'm really telling you, when you're in court, emotions does not apply. It only applies when you're trying to, like, I guess, influence the jury. But there's no jury when it comes to a divorce case. There's no jury. So emotions only affect, like, what? Like, depending on which judge it is. You know, if it's a male judge or a female judge, whoever's most emotional, that's what's going to influence the judge. No, like, it has to be an actual logical split. And so if you're deciding what contract y'all creating together between each other, then now you don't really have to involve any lawyers, because everything was already written down on paper. Then when you go on, it's just 3 different sections that you go through when you're developing it. That gives y'all full control. Now you're not giving up all this.
Y'all shouldn't be getting split up in the first place. Okay.
I mean, no, I agree with you. But I'm just saying, like, now you're not giving all this money to lawyers. You're not giving all, like, you're not going through that, because you have full control of the whole thing. That's the point that I'm coming from. I'm coming from that.
So you feel like two people that love each other, and what was the reason that somebody stepped out of the maturity for y'all to start, you know, disagreeing to split up? So somebody was not mature in the case. You know what I'm saying?
Right, but that's the whole point of having that in the contract. You have it in you discuss every possible thing. Think about this, right? If you sitting down creating a contract with your significant other, and then you going through this process, and then you get your vows together, right? And that's going to be a completely separate thing, and you get that notarized, right? And then when it comes down to the changing of the last name, you just go down to the federal building. When you, like, tally up all of that, it's pretty much the same amount of money that you spend on the marriage license and stuff, right? It's just a package deal in the marriage license part through the government. But when you actually got full control and you putting it together, you got to sit down and discuss this stuff, and you got to be clear. But think about the bond that you're creating when you're talking to somebody like that. You got to be fully open and transparent.
So you can't do that within the scope of a marriage.
Never said you couldn't. That's the point. I never said that the actual system, I never said that doesn't work. What I'm saying is that if you go this route, it gives you more control. But you got to be mature. You got to be very mature to go.
So I feel like then ain't no point in even getting married. You got to do all that. Like, let's just be boyfriend, girlfriend, rock this out till the wheels fall out and see what happens.
But that sounds like you don't want to do the work. See, you got to do work regardless. In the relationship, you got to do work. So why not put all the work in on the contract and then actually continue to work when you're going through your marriage? You remember,
so
you can't.
Let's prepare for failure. Let's prepare for the failure, right? In a sense.
I mean, yeah. Don't you got to prepare for death?
In a sense.
How do you think that feel when you got to discuss death with your kids? You guys discuss death with your kids,
right?
Like insurance and all that. Death.
By setting a legal binding document saying that your kids get such and such amount.
Yeah, you got to discuss.
You're talking about that. That's different though. That's different than Because if you're going into something thinking it's going to fail, it's going to fail.
But that's the whole point. Like, if you get a marriage license, it's already set in for the failure part, right? But they decided what the failure is going to be if y'all don't make it through.
That's if you pay. I mean, that's if you're looking at it that way.
I'm not looking at it like that. I'm
what
looking
you
at
gotta say, chaotic? What you gotta say about?
I know. I'm just listening. I'm listening. Go ahead.
Quiet, like he real quiet. Like
if you're two people going into something, that's like going into a business and expecting your business to fail. So then that's what you're manifesting. You're manifesting failure.
Why do you get car insurance?
Because the government told us we have to get car insurance.
No. Why do you get car insurance? You don't have to drive with car insurance.
Nah, for real. Yeah, I agree with.
Why do you get car insurance? You get car insurance just in case.
The thing is,
Miss Ty, Miss Ty, do you believe?
Why do you get life insurance?
Hold on. I want to hear.
Watch all of this. Watch.
Miss Ty, I want to hear you as the preacher daughter talk about getting a marriage license.
Oh Lord. I see where he's coming from. However, there is a scripture where it says that you must render unto Caesar what is Caesar's. And you must abide by the laws of the land. If the laws of the land say you're supposed to get a license or insurance or will or real estate insurance, whatever, a driver's license, it is the law of the land.
You know what the true law of the land is, right?
And if you are, say you whatever you believe, but that's what it says. So
right, the true law of the land is the universal laws because they apply to everything. That's the law of the land.
No.
Wherever you live, that's what the law is.
You could create your own land.
Oh my God! Hold on, wait. We could create our own land.
You can create any type of law you have in your space, but when you walk out your door, wherever you live, like I live here in Maryland, when I walk out the door, Maryland state law.
Yes. That's laws of the state.
I understand what Petey's talking about.
I know you know what I'm talking about, Ma. I know you do.
I'm talking about
there are some loopholes that if you are willing to wiggle through as a certain people
metaverse,
and you are able to do certain things without having to abide by the government rules.
Because you can govern yourself.
Right. That's true.
You can govern yourself. That's
so I know what you're talking about.
I know. I wasn't saying you were wrong. Like I said when I first started talking, I understand what you were saying. So because I have friends that are Moors and all that kind of stuff. So I know, but I'm just going back to say, sometimes in some situations we have to obey the laws of the land that we are in. In some situations, that's all I'm saying.
I know. All right, how about this? In the situations, right? All right, there are treaties with quote unquote America. And those treaties are with different foreign countries. And those treaties were put in place for a reason. However, you can utilize those treaties if you're willing to put in the work to create your own entity that you can operate in and govern yourself in and move in this land with, abiding by the laws, but also abiding by your own laws as well of governing yourself. That doesn't intrude or impede or anything with the laws of the United States.
Yeah. Right. Yeah, I agree.
So that's
I don't disagree with you, but
no. I'm not saying, like I said, I'm just bringing a different perspective that we used to practice this. We don't practice this stuff no more. We just go by what we've been told. So I said,
at what point did we practice this?
At what point? Oh, okay. Well, let's go all the way back before Africa even got his name.
50 decades ago?
Then he used to be Al Kibilan. If you go.
Wait a second, 2021, 2003.
Just go to the origin. If you go to the origin of who you are, then you will find that out.
But even then, they had to be recognized. I think even Jesus had to. Oh no, not Jesus. Joseph and Mary had to be counted for the census to really have their marriage
Yeah.
officialized.
Oh,
Hey,
Where's
eBlack.
is there a document of
Oh
Joseph?
God, I'm sorry. I meant
But
I.
you said this on a religious conversation.
Right, like
I thought we weren't gonna do
yeah,
religion.
what happened? You trying to leverage? You didn't leverage.
Okay, in
Yeah,
historical
look at that.
context. Okay, all right. Hold on. Let me. I can think of some other groups of tribes that said that you had to, for land to be passed on, you had to be recognized by the council and the tribalsmen. So I mean, this has been. You had to be recognized. You can just pick up a woman and just
But
say,
he's not saying that you're not recognized. You are going to get a card that says that you belong to a tribal whatever group. I can't remember what it's called, but it's like a tribal card. And when you whip that sucker out and you get stopped by the police for speeding or whatever,
You
you
say
whip
I'm a
that out.
sovereign citizen.
Right. You are still recognized. You're just not recognized like everybody else. You're not putting all your money into this system that we are putting our money into. So I totally get, and
Yeah, I get what he's saying.
I'm actually very interested in learning more because I think we have to be careful. I'm going to say this because I do have to go, but we have to be careful of defending things that we don't really truly understand and don't know, and then shutting down things that we truly don't understand and don't know without actually taking the time to really research it. Because if it's going to help us as a community and as a group, that is something that we should actually explore, because the system that we are participating in right now, is it actually helping us as a community and as a group? I mean, and some people might not care about that, but it's always a good idea to really research things and then talk about it before shutting it down, before actually really understanding every detail of it.
Yeah, like I totally agree with what he's saying, because I have friends that are, sovereign citizens or Moors and things of that nature. So I kind of understood where he was going with that. So yeah, but
Keep in mind, I'm not saying you got to be sovereign, but what I'm saying is you just showing them that you could govern yourself. A lot of the money that's made right now in terms of like the law and all that, it comes from people not being able to have control of their emotions. I'm not wrong. I'm not wrong saying
yeah,
that.
I agree.
I agree.
A lot of stuff that's going on. Even when, if you look at it, even on a federal level, it's always drama.
Yeah.
Wars,
Well, that's
drama.
because you can't dissolve contracts without some type of higher authority saying this is how we're going to do it. If it was that simple, then I agree with you. We wouldn't need marriage license, but the simple fact that you have two emotional individuals coming together, and then when they try to dissolve the contract in a non-emotional way, then
it becomes very destructive.
It gets really
not Maya. I apologize.
Right,
Maya, you leaving?
Yeah, she said.
Go ahead.
No, I'm just giving you your cue, girl.
I love that picture, by the way, girl. That's fierce.
Oh, thank you.
Yes.
Yeah, I'm just giving you your cue. I'm not rushing you out or nothing, but
Oh, okay. Yeah, it's late. I gotta go, and gotta go be with the husband. Chaotic, so I'm just messing with you.
I'm good talking to you, Mike.
All right, it was fun, guys. Peace.
Absolutely.
Take care. So yeah, like I said, it was just when we talk about I think like I said, we got to be careful on the verbiage that we use, and I think certain things we mean. I understand in spirit we means one thing, but in reality we are saying the exact same thing. I don't mind anybody.
Absolutely.
I don't mind anybody saying, "Hey, I don't think we need to get married to have a union," and I say, "Okay, yeah, that's good," but then what's the benefits of it other than the simple fact that you just don't want to sign a contract?
Well, you got to create the benefits. The benefits is always.
It's like me it's like me saying I'm going to start a multi-million-dollar business without a business license or EIN number. It's like, yeah, that's possible, but You just
I mean,
avoid.
yeah, obtain the EIN number. That's important because that's for taxes and stuff like that. But there's different types of EIN numbers too. You could get some. You could get an EIN number that you don't have to pay taxes with, which is what Trump uses.
Oh yeah, we don't
What is
mention
that
that guy.
called?
It's a 9-8 number.
Yeah,
It's a 9-8 number. It begins with the EIN number has 2 numbers in the front of it before the dash. It's a 9-8 number. 9-8 number is a foreign number. That's what he uses.
Oh, he uses the foreign entity because he
Yes.
has. Hold on, let me. I'm looking at my. Let me look at my IN. Yeah, there is. It's a 9-8.
It's a 9-8 number.
9-8 number.
Okay. All right. Well, mine ain't got that.
Nah, yeah. My other business number ain't got that neither. It got 4 or 7.
Yeah.
So
That's
it's
a conversation for another time.
yeah. It's trust me, like it's a lot of stuff we need to be learning as a group of people if we want to like really come together.
Do you have a platform, P?
Nah, a lot of people been telling me to do it.
Yeah, because you're like, oh, it's a lot of things we need to know. Like, how about you teach? Put the info out there.
That would, but you know what? To be all honest with you, that wouldn't even be my platform. My platform will mostly be about, just mostly like building yourself up mentally, spiritually, physically, nutritionally. Like I really dive deep into that because I've overcome a lot of things, that a lot of traumas. Chaotic himself even calls me an outlier because of my situation, how I grew up. I didn't have both my parents. I didn't come from a nuclear family, none of that. Dad wasn't around, so a lot of stuff that I've experienced, it would seem as if I came from a nuclear family, but I was just really like on it to want to become the best man that I could be. So in order to do that, I had to talk to a lot of people who failed in relationships, but also who was successful. So, you pick up, you learn, and you move forward and you evolve. And then I just want to share that information with people who feel like they can't do it, or they feel like they just won't have another chance. Or
who do you listen to?
I mean, I listen to a lot of people that's not famous. That's the key. Like, it's a lot of people who are unsung heroes that you probably are around, but because we so busy looking into the people that's in the lights, we forgetting about the people that's under the lights that actually got the same amount of information. And sometimes the people that's in the lights take the information from the people that's in the dark, and they just bring it to the light as if it's their own. It's really not their own.
God damn. Okay.
What's your Instagram? We gotta tap in.
Instagram is no comfort zone. No _comfort_zone_.
Everything you said is like pretty much what I'll be, doing on my platform. Just motivational speaking, the alignment, mind, body, soul.
Absolutely.
I've come from. I can't say I had the worst life, but we all have our traumas. Can't say whose situation was more traumatic. You know what I mean? But
yeah, it's not about that.
It's
not about who's worse.
Right.
It's about how you deal with your internal self. Like, you are your own enemy. If you say enemy very, very slow, what does it sound like?
Inner me. Hello.
Boom. There you go.
So you said what? Wow. No comfort zone?
Yeah, no _comfort_zone_.
Hold on. Miss Ty, you got an Instagram? I need your Instagram too.
Chaotic.
I already sent you.
Looking for your Instagram.
You follow me? Okay, I'll go.
I'm not really big on IG, but definitely if you want to, follow the channel Chaotic Truth Live on YouTube. Yeah, I have an Instagram, but it's
eBlack. I'm gonna make sure I subscribe to.
I think it's called Chaotic Truth Podcast on Instagram. If you're interested, yeah.
You think?
I think it is. I don't really go to it, but on YouTube it's Chaotic Truth Live. Yes.
Okay.
Yeah, I think. I'll double check for you.
Yeah, I was looking at something. I was sorry. Yeah.
It is Chaotic Truth Podcast.
Chaotic Truth Podcast. Yeah.
Chaotic Truth Podcast, all one word.
Yeah.
So yeah, y'all link up. I'm telling you, this young lady, Milf, trust me, she will be riding in her car, sending her great blessings to the world. I tell you, she is a sweetheart. I tell you. And Miss Ty, she is my accountability YouTube partner.
Right. I love you, Ty girl. Man, for real. Excited, girl. I love it.
But yeah, let's wrap this up because y'all know I don't do this. I just need my watch. I need my watch hours up. So, but if y'all have a chance, y'all check me out tomorrow. I'm having the lead attorney come on.
Yeah.
Oh, that's dope.
Definitely gonna be
That's
in.
dope.
I'm probably gonna be getting grilled, but
Yeah.
I done made the greatest of all greatest movie trailers.
Yeah. It was good. I liked
That's
it.
dope.
Yeah, a lot of people don't know the backstory, but this has been a month. Like we've been going back and forth about this stuff months and stuff. So
He's gonna be ready for you too.
I'm representing for the brothers that don't want the prenup.
Oh, where's Mr. Rucker at? He's always putting prenup in the chat.
Yeah, he's throwing prenup in the chat, but trust me, I got tape on Mr. Rucker.
Yeah.
So okay. You got anything to say, Chaotic? Because
I actually I do. It's my mission to bring conservative values back, and I think that is going to bring back American strength and durability. We are a society, I think, that has reached a pinnacle of success, and we're just all frolicking around now, having a good old time. But I think that traditional values will bind us back together. It's easy to be strong during peace times. We have to look at these times as, guys, there's a little bit of decay going on in society, and I think that conservatism is the key to bring back that good old American way of living that people did back in the day. If that makes any sense. That's 12 o'clock at night, so go ahead.
Chaotic, you can follow it's a guy on Instagram. His name is Brother Ben X. He's pretty dope.
Brother Van X.
Brother Ben X is BROBNX. He's pretty dope. I think
Oh, the Nation of Islam.
Yeah, y'all should check him out. He's
I think I know who he is.
Getting land and all that.
Yeah.
He's very smart.
Yeah, Chaotic follow a lot of different people. I'm telling you.
I do.
Now.
Yeah. Cooking.
Anyway, y'all.
Cooking and cleaning is the way to a man's heart. If anybody's watching this upload, so if you guys,
I heard that.
Yeah. So I tell that to a lot of women. I say, if you want to get a good man, cook, clean. That's all you have to do.
Baby, know how to cook some gumbo or something. I mean,
some grits, some pancakes.
So double line, know how to fry some chicken, some greens, some rice, some homemade cornbread. Okay, I have you. Okay,
you're from Louisiana.
Yes.
Okay, you like,
I was about to say, like, I was going to ask that question, like, where you from? Like, you said gumbo. I'm like, oh,
yeah.
Where you from?
From the boot.
Yeah,
boot. Yeah, the boot.
Islands.
Yeah, boot. All
right,
well, guys, thank you very much. I got to get the hell up out of here. It's 12 o'clock. I'm about to go to sleep.
All right, take care. Hey, y'all, and
I appreciate you letting me on. Thank you.
Hey, Petey, y'all, anytime you want to come through, you guest here,
Yeah, I enjoyed the conversation with him.
Appreciate it.
Yeah, I'll be scared, man. I don't be knowing it. I don't be knowing.
He look
who,
like Kevin Hart twin brother. I know you get that all the time.
I get a lot of people. I get Kevin Hart, Floyd Mayweather.
Oh, okay.
I get them.
Okay, so now we're gonna stop capping and leave the show. But anyway, thank y'all for joining. I'll probably, like I said, I will probably delete the last hour. I've been trying to work on formatting. Like
sure.
I've been I don't I like my format. It's 1 hour.
Yep.
Just 1 hour.
Good.
Like get it in, get it out.
But what you could do, you can use the footage and split it up, and repost it.
That's what I do.
Chop it up.
Yeah,
But like my lives be like 4, 5, 6 hours.
Dang.
I can't do that. I can't. My mind.
You
had 3 hours down.
We was on here for like 5 hours last week.
Yeah, well, that's because that was Henny E. That was Henny E. She caught me on a Friday. Fridays are my worst day.
Next time you gotta bring PD with you.
All right, Pity. Make sure you subscribe to.
I did already. I got you.
Yeah, she has a very dope podcast.
For
Or
sure.
tomorrow, Milf, we have the ladies panel tomorrow.
Okay. What's your podcast called?
Red Lipstick Vibes.
It's in the
Okay.
description.
Not on Instagram. You talking on YouTube, right?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, you on YouTube? Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I have her YouTube in her my link.
It's an all ladies panel tomorrow night, 8:30.
Okay.
Well, check her out, y'all connect. But look, I gotta go. I gotta get. Look, y'all gotta understand. I'm about to get roasted tomorrow. It's about.
You gotta get ready. You gotta get ready.
So it's time to go. Then we know it's time to go.
Right.
All right, y'all. Have a good night.
Good night.
For sure.
Good night, y'all.
All right.
Bye.